Hello there, you spectacular specimens of humankind, you happy-go-lucky scamps of individuals. Welcome on into the cult of Vane, the home of hedonism. Here on this little corner that we call twitch.tv/ValenVane. Or, if you're watching the VOD, then the VODs and Vanity channel on the YouTubes. On the YouTubes! Because that's what we do. Over there. Sometimes. When I remember to put everything up and get it all sorted. Which I'm in the process of doing. I have done lots of things today. How you doing? How's it going? How was your weekend, friends? How are your weekends, you cheeky little devils, you wonderful beans, you? Let me
subscribed. Most kind. Panda to my ego. Panda to it. Panda to it.
Oh. No.
I can't believe you've done this to me, Eris. I can't believe you've done this to me. It was literally on my list. I have right here, I have a list of things I need to do. And top of that list was gift Zabadi in a subscription when you see them in chat. So I was going to say hello to everybody. And then I was going to gift a subscription to Zabadian.
Panda to my ego. Panda to it. Panda to it.
I was waiting for this.
I am appalled.
Yeah, you subscribed.
And aghast.
Most kind.
Zoe Bowie is welcome in for the 29 months. I know, I saw I've got to wait a whole year, Eris. 12 months. You gifted 12 months of sub to Zabadian. 12 months! No worries, Druidus Amidian. 12 fucking months! I'm gonna wait for the 23rd of February 2027. God damn it! For people that may be new here or haven't been around for a little while, our darling Zabadian is extremely kind in this channel. Extremely kind and very, very generous to me and other members of the community. Not only in my stream, but in other people's streams as well. And I wanted to thank Zabadian through the medium of gifting them like a prolonged sub to this channel so that they could be here and be subscribed, because they give loads of subs but they never subscribe themselves. And I was just like, yeah, look, I could do that, but no, because it seems that Eris Ptolemy had fucking nipped out of nowhere and gifted them 12 months. 12 bloody months. 12 bloody months. I haven't even said hello to anybody yet. It was on my list of things to do. Well, I can cross that one off. Cross that one off for the fucking time being. Jesus Christ. God damn. I can't believe you've done this to me. I can't believe you do this to me. Oh, Panda my lordy.
Panda to it. Panda to it.
Why was King Arthur's army too tired to fight? He had too many sleepless nights. Or in other words, they Camelot.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And now you're here for another 12 months. I hate you. I hate you, Samantha. Thank you very much for the 100 little panderings. God damn it. Eris, thank you so much for giving 12 months. That is so unbelievably kind of you. Thank you so much. And Zooty Booty coming in for the 29 months being a paid subscriber, taking us that one step closer to the 60-40 split. Inscribe your name on the mirror vein as well. By having your names on the mirror vein means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devils. You also get a discount on all the merchandise, and of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But goddamn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy, oh yes, meow, you know? God damn it. God, just... Also, we gotta got a new tier 3 mirror. I liked it because it was shiny and glittery. Sparkly. And there's the tier 3s that I've caught up with. Anyway, I could get fucking distracted by that all day. All day. All day. All day. I can't believe I am both extremely grateful and humbled, Eris, and also extremely perturbed. Grateful, humbled, and extremely perturbed. God damn it. You shit. You shit, mini partner. Don't you worry about it at all, friend. Do whatever you need to do. Do whatever you need to do. I appreciate you being here. You're obviously welcome to come and lurk into the shenanigans that are being caused here, you know? Renard! Hello, how you doing? How's it going? Welcome on in. Kiara Strings, how you doing? Eris told me, of course. Hello, you cheeky little devil. It upsets me, Eris, that you also changed the color of your name. Again. Again. You've changed so many things. So many things coming in here. Wasn't ready for it. God damn it.
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
Arthur and Lancelot went to the inn and rented a room for 2 nights. Arthur slept in a king-sized bed. Lancelot took the queen.
Isn't that also a joke on the myth of Arthur? Because didn't Lancelot sleep with Arthur's wife? Is that the joke? Is that the joke?
Pander to it. Pander to
Is that the
it.
joke?
You know me.
Okay.
I make it my mission to cause chaos when possible, and if that means I be the ultimate brat and ensure you can't do something, then so be it. As I said earlier, I'll accept punishment in May XD.
Scandalous. Bloody scandalous, I tell you. Outrageous. Outrageous. And also, thank you very much for 100 little panderings. God damn it. Where was I? Onion Pencil, how you doing? Cute Deku, welcome on in. How you doing? Yes, today's intro track was from the band Priestess, which is a band I used to listen to in like the mid 2000s. They're quite old, but I fucking love them. And I was like, ooh, do you know what? I'm in the mood for them today. How you doing, Zabadian? I hope you enjoy your 12 months of gifted subscription. That is unbelievably fucking kind. And next time, this time next year, Zabadian, this time next year, I'm going to get you. All right? Because now it's been 12 months. Now it's been 12 months. All right? People will forget. People are like, oh, Zabadian's always got a sub. No one, Zabadian just naturally subscribes here. This is obviously a thing. And then everyone's gonna get lulled into a false sense of security over the 12 months. And then when you least bloody expect it, I'm gonna swoop in. I'm gonna swoop in and give that sub. Like nobody's business. Was waiting for it since last week. Yeah, so I had it in my diary. That on the 20th of February was when the gift sub ran out. And I was like, cool. And then I was like, right, I'm not going to do it on the 20th itself because I want to do it when you're here. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to do it when we were live and when you were here, and I could say thank you to you personally. Do you know what I mean? Do all the live stuff. What a fool I was. What a fool I was. I should have done it when I was offline, when no one was around to see. Outrageous, friends. Bloody outrageous, I tell you. God damn it. How's it going, Giles? How you doing? Astro Tara John, hello, you beautiful individual. Greetings and salutations. Both of those things. Grio, how you doing, you beautiful individual? Alexander Griffin, of course, fish. Yes. Well, I was cleaning out these fish this morning. Monday mornings is the time that I do like the water changes and do deep cleans on the fish tank and stuff like that. So I was cleaning out this fish tank this morning and I was like, ooh, do you know what? While I'm at it, I'm in the mood to put some fish on there. Do you know what I mean? Microfiche. Well, at the moment, there is one fish in there. And I have to say, the bristle, because I got like 11 shrimp from the wonderful Zooty Booty and Zooty Booty's partner. And then they also gave me a bristlenose plek. And I will say that this giant shell that's in there that's about this big, it's fucking huge. The giant shell is a big, like the plek is a massive fan of that shell. For starters, the entire thing was kind of covered in like a layer of algae before the plek got in there. The plek's been in there since last Tuesday, so nearly a week, and the entire thing is fucking clean, bristling clean, and also
Panda to my ego, panda to it, panda to it.
My wife wanted to spice our love life up and told me if I turned out the light I could put it in her butt. I
Panda to my
probably should have
ego,
waited
panda
for
to
the
it,
bulb
panda
to cool.
to it.
Two fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, okay, you man the guns. I'll drive.
I was waiting for the stereotypical ones about Ian. Two fish are in a tank. One turns to you and says, do you know how to drive this thing? But no, you curled it around in a different way. God damn it, Zabadi. Also, Stupedia, how you doing? Thank you very much for 100 little panda rings. Should have waited for the bulb to cool. Absolutely. Friends, don't put bulbs in Uranus. In any of Uranuses. Always make sure it's got a flared base. Before you put something in Uranus, make sure it's got a flared base. Which is why rocket ships have got those weird little wings. Anyway. Well, I'm in an odd mood today. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so the other thing, as I was saying...
Panda to my ego,
my lordy.
panda to it, panda to it.
I told the waiter my fish was dry. The waiter said they had to take it out of the water.
Oh my God, Zabadian. No. God damn it. God damn it. Jesus fucking Christ. It's so silly. It's so silly. God damn it. As I was saying, yeah, the other thing that the plek likes to clean the entire thing of algae, which they've done, which I'm fucking amazed at, and also like this, like the hole of the conch is like this big. It's fucking massive. But what I've seen the plek doing is just doing zoomies around the fucking, like, literally doing zoomies. Like he's in a little go-kart and he's just swimming around, fucking using it like a little skate park. It is the most adorable thing. I genuinely can't wait to get some more fish in there and get the aquarium back up and running so that you can all see the fish do zoomies. I genuinely can't fucking wait. I cannot fucking wait. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, that's by and by. But yeah, that's a whole thing. That is a whole fucking thing, all right?
Panda to my ego, panda to it, panda to it.
A fish walks into a bar. It took him 395 million years.
God damn it. God damn it. Babbling, go! How you doing, you beautiful individual?
Subscribed. Most kind.
Touche, Rach. Touche, friend. Too bloody shay. No one's going to get that, and I'm not going to explain it. All right? No one's going to get that, and I'm not going to explain it. Thank you very much for giving a sub to King Julian. Maurice. Obviously. The aquarium is nearly upon us. Yes. Yeah, the return of the aquarium is nearly upon us. I've now... In fact, you know what? Let me do this first, and then I'll tell you all about it, Tunekers. I'll tell you all about it. King Julian. I shall inscribe your name and not Maurice's name onto the Mirror of Vane.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
I tell a lie, King Julian. I tell a lie. I'm also inscribing Maurice on the Mirror of Vane as well. Of course I am.
Panda to my ego, panda to it, panda to it.
I phoned the wife earlier and asked if she wanted me to pick up fish and chips on the way home, but she just grunted at
Panda
me.
to my ego,
I
panda
think
to
she
it,
still
panda
regrets
to
letting me
it.
name the twins. Choo
that-
choo.
Zabadian, that's amazing. That is amazing. I wasn't expecting that. That was amazing. Also, hush, hush, Eris. Hush. You have caused more than enough chaos for on stream, you. God damn it. I've inscribed those names upon the mirror vein. By having their names upon the mirror vein, it means to get access to my personal Snapchat. Not above Snapchat to get discounted merch if they would like it. And of course, to get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look somewhat like a lemur? But god damn, do I make lemurs look good?
Hand to it, hand to it.
Oh, yes, me.
Never enough chaos.
Always. 600? Eris Ptolemy, what is going on here? You should be saving this money for your visit to the United Kingdom in a few months' time. You should be putting that back in your little purse or wallet. Or little, what do you call it, fanny pack. Put it back in your fanny pack. There's a very different connotation here in the United Kingdom. But put it back in your fanny pack. All right? Cause, all right? You'll be saving that money when you come touristing. When you come touristing. Babblingo, also, I love you to pieces. I hope you're doing well, friend. I hope you're glorious. I know you went into lurk, but you were in chat, which is why I'm saying hi to you. I'm not calling you out lurk. If you want to lurk, you lurk where you beautiful being, but I just want you to know that I heart your face.
Most kind.
CHOO. Get those arm exercises in.
I've been doing my arm exercises. I've been carrying like buckets of water for this shit. Carrying buckets of water. God damn it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I would like to point out.
Touch my big moist dragon, don't you?
I have no doubt. I have no doubt you want to touch my big moist dragon. I've got no doubt at all. Put it back in my, I've never been told that to do that before. You should be doing that. God damn it. Astra, you cheeky devil. I haven't got a name on the mirror vein. You mean to get access to my personal Snapchat? Not a bomb Snapchat. Of course, you get access to all those sexy little emotes, but the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But god damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, the next mirror, by the way, friends. Oh, Jesus Christ. The next mirror is a small one. It's this one here. You can't see it very well, but it is there. It is there. It is there. You can basically see the bottom end of the frame here, but it is there. We have got the next mirror, which is a freshly purchased mirror as well, which means that we are now.
Hand to it,
50...
hand to it.
Why did the fish blush?
Huh?
Because it saw the aquarium's bottom.
That wouldn't make a fish blush. These aquarium fish stare at my bottom all the time. Bloody shrimp. How's it going, Dabagogs? How you doing, you beautiful individual? I haven't even continued to say hello to everybody yet. God damn it. Zabadian, how you doing, you beautiful being? Bits, you cheeky devil. JM Beard, welcome on in. Gilus Lurkaway, you wonderful individual. Druidessa Midian, you cheeky little devil. How's it going? Give a person a fish and you will feed them for a day. Teach a person to fish and they will spend a fortune on gear and they will only use it twice a year. That is absolutely true. That is a fact. A fact of life, for sure. For sure. Gosh, follow the YouTubes is pretty nice. I appreciate that, Bablico. I appreciate that. The YouTubes is returning. The YouTubes is returning. I'm not doing it yet. I want to make a backlog of videos so that I don't get to the stage that I was at last year, where when I burn myself out because I do too much shit, we run out of content, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want people to be constantly waiting. Do you know what I mean?
Kind.
Lux, you beautiful bean.
Hand to my ego. Hand to it. Hand to it.
Wait, the fish have access to the Blum Snapchat. How do they afford a tier 4 sub?
Did you not know? All those shrimp are prawn stars.
Hand to my ego. Hand to it. Hand to it.
Where do the smart fish hang out? A think tank. Where do the smart fishermen catch them from? A scholarship.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Zabadian. God damn it. God damn it. What was I doing? Oh, Lux, you beautiful bean. I have inscribed your name on the mirror vein. Thank you as well to you and Astra as well for being paid subscribers, taking us out one step closer to the 60-40 split in February. Coming towards the end of February now. Coming towards the end of Feb. But and at the end of the Feb, by the way, friends, we will be and on your pencil as well, coming in with a subscription for 25 months, also being a paid subscriber, taking us out one step closer. I appreciate you. What was I saying? Where? Lost it. Yeah, the end of, well, the beginning of March, I'll be jumping in. We'll have a dedicated stream at the beginning of March. Maybe next week, maybe next Monday. And I'll be getting all of your information about the ads and whether you liked it the way it is or what's going on. All right, so next Monday we'll have that conversation because I think next Monday is the first. Yep, first stream of March is next Monday. So we'll have that conversation next Monday. All right. Anyway. On your pencil, your name is inscribed upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a modern Snapchat! And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes, but the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough. God damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy, ooh, yes, meow, you know? Grab me a gold pen. God damn it, Milky Pork!
Most kind.
Been trying to decide what
Hand
to
it
do.
to my ego. Hand it to it. Hand it to
Are going to
it.
buy some glasses. After that, we'll see. Today I'm making fish cakes covered in breadcrumbs. It will be a challenge, because I've never been covered in breadcrumbs before.
Today I'm making fish cakes covered in breadcrumbs. God damn it. God damn it, Zavadian. Milky Bog, thank you very much for the 49 months. Been trying to decide what to do. Me and my friend are going to buy some glasses. What kind of glasses? Like drinking glasses? Drinking glasses or like spectacles? Eyeglasses, as the Americans call them. What is going on today, friends? So many people like resubscribing out of nowhere. I didn't realize there was quite that many of you at the end of the month. You know? After that, we'll see. After that, we'll see. After that, we'll see. No! 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 No, Milky Pork, no! No! I am wounded. I am wounded by these jokes. My soul is crumbling like a chalky fucking cliff into the bloody ocean. All right? I am being worn away like a clay-based fucking coastline. Fuck my life. It is regrettable to say, Milky Pork, that you also get access to all the sexy, that you also get discounted merch and access to all the sexy emotes. But the most important thing, you shit. You gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough, but goddamn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy, ooh, yes, meow, you know? God damn it. Oh, my lordy.
Hand it to my ego. Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
Why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper water would make them sneeze.
Why? Why are you like this? Why? Why? Friends, if you've got hype train, I forgot there was a fucking hype train going on as well. If you've got hype train emotes, could you please throw them out now and say a massive thank you to all those people that subbed, the gifted subs, and all the bloody bees that came with bloody dad jokes. Yeah, shits. Thank you very much, friends. That's super fucking kind of you. Thank you. It's a bloody Monday. It's a bloody Monday. It's a bloody Monday. Anyway, where was I? Zooty Booty, how you doing, beautiful bean? Wanderer Cripple, hello, you glorious individual. Hope you're doing well, friend. Guess what? You get to wait a whole year. I know. It's scandalous, all right? Dad joke? JM Beard, are you still here? Are you still here, buddy? Bloody dad jokes all over the place. Like an STI pick and mix. No regrets to take my punishment in May. Oh, good lord. Good lord. Right. Let me scroll down. Where the fuck was I? One of the aforementioned award-winning jokes. Astra, don't even encourage this. You're here, JM Beard. Good friend. Because you've got yourself a cheeky little smolder. Cheeky little birthversary smolder. Good lord. Look at you coming over here, you cheeky little devil. You want your prize? Your prize? Your prize? Your present? Your present is my delightful features. Obviously. God. Getting all close and personal in my business and stuff. Look at this beautiful face. Yeah, that's right. What a present it is to have my beautiful face all over your screen like that. Good lord. Just look at the screen's a wipe clean, isn't it? Good lord. Good lord. Ooh. Also, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear JM Beard 78. Happy birthday to you. Oh, I went a little bit lightheaded there. I almost very nearly choked on my own saliva there, JM Beard. Just for your birthday. Just for your birthday. I very nearly choked on my own saliva there. I could feel it tickling the back of my throat, and I was like, if I take a moment to breathe in any way, shape, or form, I'm gonna choke. I'm gonna choke. I just gotta keep going. I just gotta keep going and just allow the vibrations of my voice to push the saliva away from my lungs. And it kind of worked for a little while, and then I was like, all right, I can't keep going. I can't keep going. I can't keep doing this. Oh god. How's it going, JM Beard? How you doing? JM Beard, of course, I've just said hi to you. How's it going, J2, you cheeky little devil? How's it going? Mini partner, you beautiful being. You lurk away if you want to lurk. Not an issue at all, you cheeky little devil. Makes note on the calendar, adds to alert. No, don't you even, Astra, all right? Don't you even. If any of you have got it saved in your diaries that certain things happen on the 23rd of May, 23rd of February, 2026, you can immediately delete them, all right? 2027, you can immediately delete them, god damn it. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I'm thinking, Razor, you say microfish. I'm thinking that I'm gonna, instead of having like a shoal of rather medium-sized fish, I think with this one, I think I'm just gonna get loads of little shoals of fish. So that when the aquarium's up and running, there's like loads to look at, loads of different things to look at. I think that's probably gonna be the best way to do it. How are we feeling? How are we feeling, friends? Big fish or little fish? Cardboard box, maybe? No? Possibly. Unfortunately, I will say, Alexandra, unfortunately, I can't put a beta fish in there because the current, so like at the top here, you can see, in fact, you can literally just see the shimmering of the light against the water. And that's because the current of the water pump is really, really fast. And all that would end up happening is the beta fish would get sucked to the fucking, sucked up to the filter and probably die. I don't really want that to happen. Don't really want that to happen, you know? You know? I thought you'd like the shell. Oh, Zooty Booey, it's outrageous. It's out-fucking rageous how addicted to the shell the little bristlenose pleck is. It's wild. Sawblade Manor, how you doing, you cheeky devil? Sawblade, if you're still here, you beautiful me, because I realize I'm behind in chat, to the surprise of fucking no one. How's your comic coming along? How's your fundraiser, your comic fundraiser coming along, if you don't mind me asking? Has Valentin got much experience using a rocket up your butt? What? No. A rocket probing Uranus, though. I might have a bit of experience in that. Sawblade, do you not have a comic thing going on? Am I thinking of somebody else? Somebody else called Sawblade. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, Sawblade. Another Sawblade. What? No? In which case, Sawblade, I'm thinking of a completely different... There is another person called Sawblade who is got a comic going. And they're evidently not you. There you go. There you go. I've completely confused you with somebody absolutely different. But welcome on in. How you doing? Sounds intriguing. Yeah, they've got this like it's a comic where they've got a giant like Terminator style skeleton rat zombie cyborg thing. And they were doing some big crowdfunding and I thought it was you, but it's not. Itchy nose. Terror Rat is in fact Abby Stabby Sawblade. I knew it was a Sawblade. I knew it was. Yeah, I was confusing this Sawblade with Abby Stabby Sawblade. I was indeed absolutely confusing the two Sawblades. There are two Sawblades in my vicinity, which I will say is pretty impressive. Because Sawblade is not a casual name that somebody would select. So the fact that we have two in our community is pretty impressive. Genuinely pretty impressive, you know? But anyway, Sawblade, if you ever decide to make a comic, Sawblade Manor, if you ever decide to make a comic, let me know. I'll tell everybody about it. How you doing, Rach? How's it going, you beautiful individual? The aquarium is indeed almost upon us, Tunackers. So the plan is, with the aquarium, the plan is that our current donation goal is here. When this donation goal is finished, when this donation goal is done, we will, our next donation goal, because this donation goal is already dedicated to something else, it's already dedicated to helping me get rid of debt and stuff like that, which again, I am so unbelievably humbled and thankful for, to all of you beautiful beings for helping me with that. And at the end of this donation goal, we have a Bob Ross stream, dedicated Bob Ross stream. So when that's done, it's done. Once that's done, the next donation goal, we're going to take a bit of a break from the debt be gone overall donation goal thing. We're going to take a bit of a break from that because the next donation goal is going to be entirely down to buying fish for the aquarium. Once the fish for the aquarium are bought, the aquarium stream will be going live. I have recalibrated the timings on the aquarium so that it should run from about 12 noon GMT to about 12 midnight GMT, because it's like a 12-hour cycle. And when that light is not on, there's a blue light, so that even when it's nighttime, people should be able to still see stuff. So that's the plan. That is the plan of action. Once that's all up and running, once that's all up and done and it is live and it is running the 24-hour stream, the only time it won't be running is Monday mornings, because Monday morning I will be cleaning out the tank and I don't want people seeing me in my fucking gym jams when I'm cleaning out the tank. Do you know what I mean? So Monday morning there will be no stream. But other than that, as of the point where I've cleaned the tank and it's back up and ready, it'll go live and it'll run 24 hours for, well, it'll be, 24 hours, 6 days a week. And on the 7th day, it'll be like 20 hours. You know what I mean? So it'll be on most of the fucking time. Once that's done, I will start prepping the second tank. And if we could, because the second tank, I'm thinking is going to be like a shrimp and plant tank. There's just going to be shrimp and plants. Nothing else in there. Just shrimp and plants. Maybe a snail. Do you know what I mean? The snails fucking devour plants. So maybe an assassin snail, just to get rid of all the pest snails. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that is the plan. That is the plan of action. So there is a plan of action for the aquarium. There is a plan of action for the aquarium. But the first things first, sort this out. Second thing, buy new fish. Third thing, get the aquarium channel up and running and back in action. And then once that's done, I'll start prepping the next tank. Because I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things in my life. And I do too much. No, I don't. I get bored easily. I can't help myself. Can't bloody help myself. Anyway, that's enough of that shite. Enough of me talking about myself and what the plan is. What kind of fish is made up of 2 atoms only? Tuna. God damn, it's a baddie. God damn it. I read that one out and it didn't even do the panderings. I just read it out straight off. What was it? Why was the beach disgusted?
Hand it to my
Because
ego.
it saw
Hand it to it. Hand it to
saw the
it.
seaweed.
Did you know they're gonna release the 10th Fast and Furious movie already? It's called Fast 10, Your Seat Belts.
Oh, it wounds me. It wounds me, Zabadian. It wounds me. Speaking of movies that almost went on too long, I watched John Wick 4 last night and was surprised at how much I did enjoy it. John Wick 1 was amazing. John Wick 2 was pretty good. John Wick 3, John Wick 4, ooh, surprising comeback. And the way they ended it was actually perfect. Was actually fucking perfect. I like the way that sort of closed off the entire storyline. Was very, very good. Ballerina was a good spin-off one. No, I disagree. I watched Ballerina. I got bored shitless. Bored shitless. It was, yeah. I watched it because I had high hopes for it. But then after watching John Wick 3, I should have known better. I should have fucking known better. But John Wick 4 was surprising because I was expecting John Wick 4 to be shit. I was expecting it to be kind of like the Alien franchise, where 1's great, 2's pretty fucking good, and then 3 and 4 are deciding just a bit could not finish watching Ballerina. Too snoozy. How's it going, Wild Danny? If I've got a mod available, could I get a shout out for Wild Danny, please? I'd really appreciate that. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, it was definitely differently paced. I think they definitely wanted to tell more of a story with that one. And I don't know. I feel like instead of, you couldn't finish 3. 3 was just, yeah, it was decidedly average. It was decidedly average. 4 was good though. I will say that I really enjoyed 4. 3 was just like, all right, I've watched it now. I'm never going to watch that again. But 4 I did enjoy. 4 was genuinely an interesting movie. They'd evidently gone back to some of their old source material. Ballerina, I think the problem with Ballerina is the fact that they went for a younger character. So they went for, like, the idea behind Ballerina was like the school that John Wick grew up in that made him the ultimate assassin. It was like a new person, like a new fresh recruit. Oh, look, this is an orphan girl. Let's make her into an ultimate assassin. Ooh. Whereas I think what would have been a better, because of the fact that, like, one of the things that worked for John Wick was the fact that he was already solid when you met him. He was already the Baba Yaga when you fucking met him. Do you know what I mean? So what I think would have been a better spin-off, in my personal opinion, of John Wick was if they'd have, instead of doing like Ballerina and it being focused on a brand new assassin girl, doing like John Wick's mentor and doing like a spin-off one of John Wick's mentor, some really, really old dude or really, really old lady who is like just super fucking solid, but they're just really old. I feel like that would have been a more interesting story, personally. Low-key wish that John Wick would have stopped at 1. Honestly, Berserker, I can understand why. I did enjoy 2, but it was nothing on John Wick 1. 3 was... Do you know what I mean? But four was a surprise. I would say that 4 was probably as good or almost as good as 2, in my personal opinion. There's a spin-off series, wasn't it, based on Winston before he got the hotel? Yes. So there is a spin-off series called... Is it just called The Continental? I think it's called The Continental. And I think it's based around Winston and his brother. I watched one episode of it and turned it off. I watched one episode. Oh, no, I tell a lie. I watched an episode and a half. I watched the first episode and was like, I'll give another episode a go to see if it sort of picks up a little bit or something to grab my attention. Started watching the second episode and was like, I'm bored now. I literally spent most of the time on my phone just being like, right, I'm bored. I'm just fucking turn this off. Frankie D, how you doing? Midgard, hello, you beautiful individual. How's it going? Razotter, hello, you wonderful individual. Why is the bum hanging out? Why not? Why not? When you wear nothing but a mankini, Razotter, your bum always hangs out. Can't help it. Can't help it. Do you know what I mean? Happy Monday, Siobhan. How you doing, you beautiful individual? If Mondays can be called happy, nothing wrong with a Monday. Do you know what, friends? Days are just days. Days are just days. They're what you make of them. My Monday has been filled with doing loads and loads of shit. I cleaned the fish tank out. I prepped it all sorted. I fixed a travelator, you know, like a walking machine. My darling friend Sway was like, I've got this walking machine. It's not working properly. So I was like, cool. She gave it to me. I fixed it. And now it's working fine. She's like, yeah, whenever you're done, give it back to me. I was like, okay. So I've been trying to do the whole walking while working and walking thing, which was a bit interesting and what have you. I set up the Facebook event for Ken. I sorted out a whole lot of other stuff to do with Ken. I was emailing a sponsor. That I have done so many fucking things today. But despite that, my brain's been really fucking bouncy today. And maybe some other delightfully neurospicy people will understand this. It's been one of those days where I have done fucking loads, but feel like I've achieved nothing. Even though I've obviously, like, completed cleaning the fish tank. I've obviously completed fixing the travelator walking machine. I've completed doing the Ken stuff. Like, I have done loads today, but I feel like I've achieved nothing. I think it's just like the dopamine hasn't hit of like success. And as a result, it's like, yeah, you haven't done anything today. You haven't received the success dopamine, and therefore you haven't done anything today, you know? How's it going, Samurai Afro? How you doing, you beautiful individual? Pix, hello, you cheeky devil. 95 days till the boopening Val. Outrageous. Outrageous picks. Out bloody rageous, friend. Good lord. Little Tetris. Maybe some Tetris onion pencil. Maybe some Tetris. I was thinking Danio's, because I quite like, with the style of light that's in there, it's quite a yellowy light, like sunshine light, and therefore I feel like golden Danio's would work really, really nicely in there. How's it going, Alexander Davenport? Hello, you beautiful individual. Oh shit, is that confirmed now, Alexander? That you're actually doing your new book with Mr. Weeble now? That's fucking cool as shit, my friend. That is cool as shit. That's fucking awesome. Genuinely, congratulations. Do we have an ETA of when that's going to be released, potentially? Possibly, maybe, haha. Tiny fishies, little fishies, yeah. Well, the thing is that, especially with it being like the main tank of the aquarium at the moment, I feel like the more variety of fish that's in there, the better. Especially with the size of tank that it's at. So if I got other fish, I'd only realistically be able to put just that type of fish in there, because the way that they shoal and the way that fish are really super fucking territorial and what have you. Whereas if I get several different shoals of like little fish, they can all stick together, feel protected and all that jazz. But do you know what I mean? Like, there would be plenty of stuff to look at for when people are tuning into the aquarium, you know? My son, if I had one, was chewing on electrical cord, so I had to ground him. He's doing better currently and conducting himself properly. Chunackers, you vex me in my soul. You vex me in my soul, you shit. A beta would snack on the shrimp. Yeah, a beta would snack on the shrimp. Not if they were fucking sucked off by the by the filter, Zooty Booty. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Definitely would be called that. Would be on par with how silly they are. Yeah, I think I watched like the first Fast and Furious and then was like, I don't need to see any more ever. What did I watch? Fucking hell. Jason Momoa's recent movie on Amazon Prime. Is it Wrecking Crew? The Wrecking Crew. With what's his name? Dave Bautista. Is that how you pronounce it? Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. That was kind of like the similar sort of vibes to the Fast and the Furious style movies. That sort of high intensity, high action, cheesy as shit, over the top for the sake of being over the top kind of scenario. Do you know what I mean? Couldn't finish the ballerina because honestly the story would nudge to death. Yeah, it was definitely it was a very much a copy paste story for sure, Midgarder, in my personal opinion. Do you know what I mean? There was a spin-off series with about the Continental. I think it's called the Continental for sure. Yup. Same as me about an episode and a half and nope. Yeah, I try and give things like 2 episodes, 2 to 3 episodes, in order to get into it, because some things are just slow burns, and it is worth watching in order to get past those things. In order to, but like it was kind of like Wednesday. Like the first season of Wednesday, I watched 5 episodes of the first season of Wednesday. There are 8 episodes in the season, and I was bored. Everybody raved about how fucking amazing it was. It was all over the place. There's shit going on. Do you know what? That's happened quite a few times, to be honest with you. Because I feel like the same was like the Del Toro Frankenstein. But like I wasn't bored with the Del Toro Frankenstein. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't, like, everyone hyped it up to be like, oh, it didn't even hype it up to be like so fucking amazing or anything like that. It was like, how do I explain it? It was the after effect. I went to see Del Toro's Frankenstein pretty soon after it came out, watched it, and was like, yeah, it was enjoyable. It was okay. It was all right. Do you know what I mean? Fair enough. Shits and giggles. Cool. And then the internet got hold of it and was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Look at how phenomenal this is. This is the greatest thing that we've ever seen ever. And I was like, really? Really? You want, really? Okay. All right. I mean, it was enjoyable, but was it really that? Was it really that good? Yeah, it was an odd one for me. It was an odd one for me. They're just milking it for all it's worth and then beating up the corpse for the last drops. Yes, but the way that they dealt with the end of John Wick 4, Chapter 4, makes me feel like there's not much more they can do with it. I don't think there's too much more they can do with it, which is probably why they're doing the Continental series, if I'm honest with you. The cardboard behind you looks like you have conjoined twin coming out of your head. I approve. To be fair, sometimes, Alexander, for sure. Got to decide what's enough because you can always do more in theory. That applies for money and work for me. Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, that's not too far from me. I personally think that a lot of things should be left alone. Like, stop doing more of them. I feel like if something like John Wick Chapter 4 was a rare exception. I feel like if you got rid of the third movie and just did John Wick 1, 2, and 4, that'd be a really nice trilogy. That would be a really nice, like a John Wick trilogy. Get rid of Chapter 3, John Wick trilogy, 1, 2, and 4, and that would be like quite nicely contained and covered, and you didn't need anything more than that. The Chapter 3 definitely felt like it was milking it for the money. In my personal opinion. ETA, don't know. Ordered the first brain, if we're both happy with it, then it's go. Amazing, Alexander. That's absolutely fucking phenomenal, buddy. Genuinely fucking phenomenal. I'm really happy for you, friend. Duchess Demona, hello, you beautiful individual. Doing all right, thank you very much. Wrecking Crew, yeah, Wrecking Crew was... It was... If you are interested in watching a high-intensity action movie that requires no thought at all, and also isn't massively stimulating, I would say Wrecking Crew is probably all right. It's what I would call a Sunday afternoon watch, which is when you're hanging out your asshole and you wake up on a Sunday and you need to put something on the television because you can't stand the silence, but you don't want to have something on that requires any description of thought or paying attention or anything like that. Sunday afternoon movie. Do you know what I mean? Batista. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Eris. Yeah, Batista. Wrecking Crew looks so bad. It was in exactly it looks Ocean 12. No, do you know what? I don't think I've seen Ocean 12. Ocean 11 was kind of like, it's alright. But it's in the same vein as the Fast and the Furious, Triple X, if anyone remembers Vin Diesel's Triple X. If you enjoy the vast majority of Jason Statham movies, if you enjoy the Fast and the Furious movies, if you enjoy like that kind of action for the sake of action, with a very loose storyline that ties it all together, then you'll probably enjoy Wrecking Crew, to be honest with you. You'll probably enjoy it. I avoided Wednesday due to the hype. I didn't. I was like, because the thing is, Kiara, the thing about the hype scenario, also, hello, Kiara, how you doing? The thing about the hype scenario is that usually, if there is hype around something, there is a reason for it. And for the longest period of time, I was that kid, I was that dude who was like, oh, well, everyone fucking likes it, so I'm not gonna like it. And I never really understood why I was like that. And the reason why I was like that is because normally everyone would fucking love something, bum it to death. And I'd be like, it's all right. But now I'm like, do you know what? I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. There's massive fucking hype around it. Something is evidently ticking a lot of boxes for a lot of people. I will give it a go. I gave Wednesday a go. I gave it an extra go because so many people said it was fucking excellent. And I gave it 5 episodes. And everyone was like, you need to watch the end of it. You need to watch the end of it. And I was like, I can't watch the end of it. If it's not caught me in 5 episodes out of 8, it's not going to catch me. It's not going to get me. If it's not doing 5 out of 8, it's not getting me. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like Fallout, actually. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes of Fallout and was like, alright, fair enough. Not really that bothered. Sure. I think it's what happens when you aren't a teen anymore. I will say, Samurai Afro, I will say there are a lot of things that focus around that are teenage appealing that I have no interest in. Like, I have absolutely no fucking interest in it. I think one of the reasons why Wednesday was an issue for me, or something that I really struggled to get into, was because a lot of it was like teenage drama. And the thing that was definitely my issue was the fact that I never really had teenage drama as a kid. like growing up as a teenager, there was obviously lots of things. See you later, somebody. You take it easy. There was a lot of things that I struggled with. There was a lot of things that seemed like the end of the fucking world. Abso-fucking-lutely, because we all go through hormones and all that jazz. But the vast majority of teenage drama that you see in these teenage drama series or movies or something like that, I didn't experience any of that in my teenage years. I experienced the bullying. I experienced a variety of different things that happened in it, but I didn't really experience that sort of teenage drama, probably because I was like going out clubbing from the age of 14. So I was going to nightclubs from the age of 14. So I didn't really experience that teenage drama because I was more interested in going out and partying. Do you know what I mean? As a result, I cannot identify with any of the teenage drama. You see it on these fucking movies and I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, grow up. What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. It was one of the reasons why when I went to uni and like people are like, oh my God, I'm 18, I'm free, I can do what I want, I've got all this money because I got a student loan, oh my fucking God, oh my God. And they get absolutely fucking rat-assed and what have you. I was like, I don't care. I was sick of students 1 week into being a student. Because I was like, I've done all this. All of this shit that you think is all new, I've been doing for years. I am so fucking over it. You know? Please do please do not tell me that you were bored by the heated rivalry. What was heated rivalry? Heated rivalry. Two rival hockey stars at the top of their game face an unexpected challenge where they develop feelings for each other, complicating their careers and the sport expectations. First of all, very cool. What an interesting concept. Homoerotic romance. 8.9 out of 10 on IMDb and a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is a that is two sets of very, very high scores. I can honestly say, Alexandra, that I had never heard of Heated Rivalry. I can also honestly say that if somebody had shown me just the image, like the poster for Heated Rivalry, I would never have picked it up. I wouldn't even look at it twice because I have no interest in sports. I have no interest. Like it's just, it doesn't faze me at all. I think the last...
Pander to my ego, pander to it, pander to it!
Hey Valen,
Hi.
hiking in my 50s gives a lot of opportunities to meet new people. Today I met 2 paramedics, 2 nurses, cardiologist, and nearly met Jesus.
Fucking choking there. God damn it, Europapa. Thank you very much for 100 little panderings. Jesus Christ. Literally in that scenario, you know. Good Lord. Good Lord. Get the water out my lungs. Fucking hell. Thank you very much for 100 little panderings. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the last sports-based entertainment media that I consumed, I want to say like the Mighty Ducks. No. Do you know what it will have been? Shaolin Soccer. Does anybody remember Shaolin Soccer? Oh my fucking God. So you someone run out of novelty? I don't know. I think the thing is that a lot of these storylines I find really predictable and therefore boring. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like people don't have memories and that's the first thing that they've ever watched. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I think I got through the first season of Wednesday, definitely started the second season and got through half an episode and was so bored. Honestly, I'm genuinely gutted, Siobhan. I'm genuinely gutted because I feel like Wednesday could have had the potential to be fucking excellent. But I think what they tried to do with it, and this is my own personal perspective based on the 5 episodes that I've seen, was they tried to make it appeal to a Beetlejuice audience. Like the new era of Beetlejuice audiences. So children aged 11 to 14 that in the Beetlejuice heyday would have fucking loved Beetlejuice. instead of following the 1990s movies. Like, it was a little bit too... I don't know. I found the movies, the humor in the movies was subtle and intelligent. The humor in Wednesday was... Here's your entertaining thing. Laugh. Laugh now. Now is your entertain. Look, laugh. Laugh at this thing that we're... Look at the thing that's funny. Ha, ha, ha. Laugh, laugh now. And it was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. All right. You know what I mean? Are you going to see the new Scream movie? No. Because I have only ever seen the first Scream movie. And it was all right. I think I saw this first Scream movie about a year after it came out, and I was like, all right, sure. I wasn't grabbed by the Scream movies. I have to say, I was not grabbed by the Scream movies, and therefore the idea of watching... How many Scream movies are there now? Scream movie. Wikipedia. The franchise. Scream 1 in 1996. Yeah, I think I watched it about 97, so that's about right. Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 2022, Scream 6, Scream 7, Scream the TV series. Oh, Scream 7 is the one that's coming out this year. Jesus Christ, I didn't even realize the one came out in 2023. 2022, 2023. They remade Scream... Oh, geez, I didn't even know any of this shit. I return back to my original feelings on the matter, which is if you are doing anything more than a trilogy, it's wrong. If you're doing movies, if you're doing a TV series, then that's one thing. But if you're doing a movie, even a set of movies, anything more than a trilogy is pointless.
Oh, you followed me.
In my personal opinion.
Little stalker.
Thank you so much for the follow, you beautiful bean. I don't like to call people out just in case they're lurking, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in here. I think people are just overwhelmed with lower quality stuff. Anything slightly better. People need... Do you know what? Sam, how you doing, Sam? You beautiful bean coming in for the 6 months with the Prime. JJ Bones. Was it JJ Bonds? JJ Bonds. Scream 7 is out this week on Friday. You see, I wouldn't even know. It's not... Scream is one of those horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street? Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. And Friday the 13th. What's my opinion on Jason X? Is Jason X the one in space? Because I watched about a minute and a half of that and pissed myself laughing. I went, I'm out. I'm out. I'm good. I'm out. I have no more opinions of this. There is no need to have... Look, Sam. There you are. Oh, do you know what? I'll use that one. Oh. Sam! Your name is on the back of the mirror of Vane. This one's an old one, look, because somebody else is on here. That doesn't happen very often. By having your name on the back of the mirror of Vane Immune, you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sex and early emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? There is, it has to be said, that there is an argument that I have had in the past, which is, as you say, like some people, it's like, what were you saying? Somebody said something about, like somebody, like you haven't seen anything, and then suddenly it's like, oh, There you go. That look said, I think people are just overwhelmed with lower quality stuff, and anything slightly better is the Grease thing. Yeah. And I think that's not necessarily a bad call, because I think that the quality of media overall hasn't been great for a few years. A lot of it could be argued down to Hollywood desperately trying to make money when they are losing money left, right, and center. That they're too afraid to go on new adventures unless you've got some weird independent funder that's putting loads and loads of money into it and all this jazz. There is a lot to be said in that. And do you know what? If you speak to somebody who works in the film industry, or has worked in the film industry, they will be able to give you a much better argument for it, because it is all over the fucking place. And then there's times that I sit there and I think to myself, maybe my standards are just too high. Maybe my standards are just too high. Maybe it's because I'm an entertainer myself. Maybe it's because I'm an actor myself. Maybe it's because I have done so many things in my life and I work really hard to make the best quality product, even if it costs me fucking money. Do you know what I mean? The last Halloween event that I ran was giant Halloween cabaret, turns into a nightclub at the end. Fucking great night. Absolutely fucking phenomenal night. Cost me 700 quid. Yet, every single person that came was like, this was fucking amazing. This was a sensational night. Oh my fucking God, it's amazing. Do you know what I mean? I very much put quality over profit, in my personal opinion. Do you know what I mean? As long as I can find a way to afford it, I always fucking do it. But yeah, I think that maybe there's a part of me that's like, maybe my standards are just too high. And then I see like an excellent piece of cinema, like Nosferatu. God. Like the absolute fucking cinematic masterpiece that is Nosferatu. And I'm like, do you know what? No. My standards are not too high. My standards are just fucking right. It's just that nobody can be asked to try and meet them. Or very, very few people can be asked to try and meet my standards. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fucking hell, all right, whatever. Couldn't get past half the episode. My aceness makes me the opposite of their viewership. I got bored. That's fair. That is fair. I think it's going to be one of those scenarios where it's like the hockey homoerotic romance will be one of those. If you're into it, you're into it. I would imagine there'll be a lot of controversy with it, and needlessly, because it's just another fucking rom-com, realistically speaking. Or romantic, whatever, you know. It's just another love story. That's what it is. Just another fucking love story. Let me explain. I think Scream movies feel like they are mocking me sometimes. I've only seen the first one, so I couldn't possibly speculate. But yeah, all of them. It's like, you don't need more than 3 movies. You don't need more than 3 movies in any franchise. In fact, do you know what, friends? I put the challenge to you. I put the challenge to you now. Name a series of movies, specifically movies, not TV series. Name a series of movies that has more than 3 of those movies that has genuinely been excellent. Like, every movie is about right or infinitely better. Star Wars, fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. The original 3, very, very good. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, bag of wank. Episodes 7, 8, and 9, even worse, bag of wank. I will take spin-off movies for Star Wars. Like Rogue One was quite good. Lord of the Rings, that was 3 movies. The Hobbit shouldn't have been 3 movies. That should have literally been only 1. The Godfather, I haven't seen all the Godfather movies. In fact, you know what? I don't even know if I've seen any of the Godfather movies, thinking about it. Indiana Jones, the original 3 were all you ever needed. And even then, the 3rd one was decidedly shite. What was it? Temple of Doom, decidedly shite. Indiana Jones, Get Out. Jackass, can you really call them movies? Can you call the Jackass movies movies? That was more fucking reality TV. A longer episode of reality TV than anything else. Ghostbusters minus the one with Melissa McCarthy. But Ghostbusters, you only needed one and two. I haven't seen any of the new ones. I don't really want to see any of the new ones. There's nothing about them that appeals to me. Like, it's just like, it's not grabbing my nostalgia. It's not grabbing any of that. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Sure, you made another Ghostbuster movie because you can't think of anything new to do. Fair enough. You can call the Jackass movies actual movies. Can you? Can you really, though? Alien should have only been the original 3. Alien Resurrection is possibly one of the worst things that has happened in movie history. It was awful. And pretty much every Alien movie since then has been a bag of wank, with the one exception of the first 3/4 of Alien Romulus. But the first 3/4 of Alien Romulus are massively brought down by the last, like, half an hour of it. Let me try and catch up with the other things. Can't stand the silence. Yeah, I can't stand the silence. Not when I'm hungover. I can't stand silence, generally speaking. I always like something going on. To be completely honest, I fell off the Scream series after the 3rd movie only because I can't keep up. However, next month I'm going to meet 2 of the actors from the original movie. I'm looking forward to. Oh, that's really cool, Duchess Demona. That's really, really cool. Fucking love that. Should have stopped at 1. Know what you did. Should have also stopped at 1. Oh, no, you did last summer. Only reason I'm considering seeing is one of the original director words in this movie. Oh, that's really cool. That's fucking amazing. Wednesday was all right. Season 2 was a bit meh. Nah, I couldn't get into it. I tried. I fucking tried, Wild Annie. Literally watched 5 episodes of the first season and was like, all right, whatever. Always try something twice. It might hurt the first time. Exactly. Try everything twice because the first time it might hurt. 100% Alexander. Same for people who tell me to watch Adventure Time. I watched all of the first season. All of it bored me. Why would I subject myself to more of that? I found Adventure Time to be easily consumable when I needed distractions. That was pretty much the be all and end all of it. Only started watching Stranger Things when the hype died. I haven't seen Stranger Things. I've seen the first 2 or 3 episodes and it didn't grab me, but I was in a really weird headspace at the time, so I think that's more down to the headspace than the actual TV series. Though I have been told not to watch Stranger Things because of the way that it ends. I don't know how it ends. I've just been told that it's not worth it for the ending. I enjoyed both seasons of Wednesday, though I did feel like there was a tiny bit of something missing from season 2. There was a lot missing from season 1, in my personal opinion. But obviously, we are all allowed to have different things. We're all allowed to enjoy different scenarios. And what I like does not mean that you're not allowed to not allowed to like what you like. Absolutely, you enjoy something, fucking great, absolutely amazing. I watch something if the TV trope gets me interested. Yeah, all my crazy schoolmates became boring adults. Yeah, I've noticed that about some of my old school friends, for sure. Haven't watched this. Shaolin Soccer, the only way to make football look anywhere near acceptable is put Shaolin monks in it, yeah. Never liked the Scream movies, but I know some people loved them, and the series just kind of meh. Yeah, it was one of those things, kind of like a lot of the horror of that era. Like the 80s, 90s horror, they became like cult classics pretty quickly. And I never understood why. I never really understood why. Right, let me catch up a wee bit. Yeah, Alien is definitely not true. Temple of Doom's the second one. Is Temple of Doom the second one? I always think it's the third one because it's so shit. So, the first Indiana Jones is great. The second one is shit. The third one is great. Okay. It's still answering my question, though. And I saw the Crystal Skull one. It's not really an Indiana Jones movie. It's a let's milk this for all it's fucking worth movie. Why would you... Kiara, why would you consider calling the Jackass movies actual movies? Because the Jackass movies are exactly the same as the TV series. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering. They would I watched the Jackass movie once when I was 13. But the Jackass movie was exactly the same as TV series, which is bunch of dudes run around doing real stupid, dangerous shit, and people laugh. There was no scripting. There was no thing. It was just fucking all right, sure. Mobile Suit Gundam has around 30 movies. Anime is a different dynamic, especially when the movies aren't necessarily movies. They are extensions of the TV series. But even then, even with that concept in mind, I would still argue that you only really need 3 movies of any series. They were filmed with cameras, so it's a movie. I'm literally staring into a camera right now. That, in which case, I have got fucking 40 movies on YouTube right now. All of my YouTube videos. They're 25-minute to 40-minute movies, but they're all movies. I would call Jackass... I would have called Jackass a movie, really, in all honesty. Fun Ride, I wouldn't say is a movie. Evil Dead was only worth the first 3. Only worth the first 3. Anything after that wasn't worth it, in my personal opinion. And I've seen... What was the recent one where they returned to Evil Dead? And it was like, all right, fucking hell. Talk about flogging a dead donkey. Want to see Evil Ernie and Lady Death comic movie or a Necroscope TV series? All of that went straight over my head, I'm afraid, my God. I don't know that one. I don't know that one at all. Saw 2 episodes of Adventure Time and couldn't get into it. It was very much for a very specific audience, Adventure Time. I wouldn't even say that I was the audience for Adventure Time. I would say that I watched a couple of episodes and I would always be doing something else when I was watching Adventure Time. So I would be cleaning my room, or fucking folding laundry, or organizing something, or working on something. I'd always have it. It was like Adventure Time was very much a background thing for me. I never really paid attention to it too much. But it never like grabbed me. It was just something to have on in the background that didn't require any thought. The 3rd Ghostbusters movie was a nice goodbye. Okay. I've only seen the first 2, and the others, like anything after that, I was like, I'm really not that bothered. 90% of bald people still own a comb that they just can't part with. You know what? I've heard that joke before, and for some reason, because I was in the mindset of movies, I didn't even fucking get it, Chunakis. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Is this a movie reference? No. It's a fucking dad joke. Don't think it's a good show. Don't think what was a good show. Oh, the Adventure Time. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. Are you for real? You're a papa. Are you for fucking real? Do you know what? All of the Marvel movies. Stranger Things, fair. Yeah, I watched like the first couple, but I was in a weird headspace. Because the thing about Stranger Things is it ticks a lot of boxes for me. It's set in the 80s, it's got nerds, and it's got cosmic horror in it. These 3 things should tick all of my boxes, but I watched like the first couple of episodes and I was not in the brain space to deal with it, so I just couldn't get into it by any stretch of the imagination. What was the thing? Yeah, the Marvel movies. The thing about the Marvel movies, and do you know what? I'll say DC in there as well, but specifically the Marvel movies, like each character had a trilogy, and then there was the United trilogies of the fucking Avengers and shit like that, and it was just like, all right, okay, sure. I got bored of watching Marvel movies because it felt you have a very, very specific line in the sand with the Marvel movies, and it might have been Guardians. Yeah, I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy. You have the before Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel movies, and you have the after Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel movies. Okay, The before Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel movies were high action, intense comic drama. Lots of shit going on, lots of special effects, really fucking cool, intense shit. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, the original, was like a really nice blend of that same sort of comic book action and humor. Little quips, little jokes here and there, a bit of wittiness. That was then backed up with stuff like Deadpool, and then every movie after that followed the same format. Action, 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 cheeky little one-liner, carry on with our lives. I have to say, I watched the Iron Man movies, or the 3 Iron Man movies, the Thor movie, a couple of the Avenger movies, the Captain America movie when it first came out. Doctor Strange movie. I think that was it. And after that, I was done with comics. And I can honestly say, I am not only just done with comics in movie format, I am done with comics. I am done with fucking comics. I don't want to watch any of the comic movies. I don't want to see any of the comic TV series. I don't want to play any comic games. So many people talked about how amazing Dispatch was. Could not have given less of a fuck. Because I was like, oh, it's superheroes. Don't care. Don't give a shit. Superheroes, don't care. I do want to watch the Batman, the most recent Batman movie that's got like the Penguin in it, and it's set. Is it Robert Pattinson? I want to watch that one because apparently it's set in the original Batman time, so it's set in like the 1950s, and I feel like that would be an interesting to behold from like a purely perspective point of view, more than anything else. Not bringing it to modern times and stuff. I think that would be quite interesting. But other than that, I just don't care. I have been well and true. The dopamine train has choo-chooed the fuck out. Choo-chooed the fuck out. My dopamine train is no longer interested. I don't give a shit. Comic books and superheroes in general just do not tick any boxes for me anymore. You enjoyed the goofiness of Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean 1, 2, and 3 were great. Well, okay. Pirates of the Caribbean 1 was great. The next two decided to make it real fucking weird. They definitely took some narcotics and got carried away with the whole storyline. And then everything after that was decidedly average. So far, nobody has managed, and this is also down to personal opinion and stuff like that. In my personal opinion, nobody has managed to name a single movie franchise that it was worth them making more than 3 movies. Every single one of these movies, like every single one of these franchises, could have stopped at 3 movies, and they would have been good, or they would have been pretty all right, you know. Even the John Wick Chapter 4, as I was saying, is a good movie, but then I don't think they should have made Chapter 3. If it had just been 1, 2, and 4, that would have been a fantastic trilogy, you know. No Lie, the film franchise that I never watched that has more than 3 installments outside of Star Wars and Marvel is the series that we don't talk about here, which, even though it's tainted for me now, I did enjoy those movies. Are you talking about 50 Shades of Grey, Harris? Or the Twilight movies? Which you can talk about whatever you'd like. Twilight was painful and didn't age well. I wasn't even interested in the first movie, so I can't say whether that was what. The clips that I have seen from the original Twilight movies, the first 2 movies, I was like, everything from like the later Twilight movies is just fucking, yeah, do you know what I mean? One written by the TERF. Oh, right, okay, yeah. The Harry Potter movies, yeah. The Harry Potter movies. The Harry Potter movies are different, and we won't get into it because yeah, J.K. Rowling is a massive cunt of a human being, who. Anyway, the Harry Potter movies are slightly different because they are based on actual novels, kind of like the Lord of the Rings movies. One movie per novel. Seems like a reason. Obviously, there was the last one that took 2 movies or what have you. But anyway, 1 movie per novel. That makes sense. That may be the one exception in the regards of before they were associated with a massive narcissistic prick of a human being who does everything for the attention and drama, no matter how many people it destroys in the process. Like that might be the one exception, but I think that is entirely built off, or 90% built off the fact that there was already a cult built around all of the books before even the first movie ever existed, you know. Not exactly the same. The first Jackass movie, yes. Everything else, not really. Okay, out of interest, Kiara, what is it about the first Jackass movie that you felt made it more of a movie than a prolonged TV exposure? So is a TV series a film with a camera? Apparently so. Apparently so. Do you know what I mean? And yes, there is another Jackass movie. There's another Jackass movie coming out? Really? I thought they all got past that. I thought they all got past that. Thanks, Midgard. Melania was a movie, but apparently Melania didn't make any sales on box office day. Nobody fucking bought a single fucking thing. We're not getting into politics. Nobody bought it. Evil Dead Rises or something? Yeah, something along those lines. Evil Dead Rise, yeah. Yeah, I watched some of it and got bored. X-Men? No. The first couple of X-Men movies were all right. I wouldn't say that they were good, though. Saw a Lady Death movie. I'm not a teenager, so I didn't care. Yeah. I don't know who Lady Death is, but I can assume. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't a movie, it was a bribe. Yeah, that's accurate. Absolutely fucking accurate. Jackass 5, June 26, 2026. Wow. 26626. You're hyped for it, Kiara? I mean, do you know what? If you're hyped for it, good for you. I grew out of Jackass when I was about 15. I went, oh wait, this shit's real fucking stupid. I'm gonna do things that aren't so stupid. But if you're hyped for it, good for you. Good for you. Think on that one a little? Absolutely. I Will Die on Black Panther was a good movie, Hill. That's fair enough. I haven't seen it, so I can't say whether it was or wasn't. I have heard that it's quite good. I don't know a single person that has told me that Black Panther wasn't a good movie, so I couldn't possibly speculate. You know? Terrible bribe trying to entice people with poisonous cactus. Yes. Yeah, I think, no, to be honest with you, Midgard, if we're being honest about this, I don't think it was a bribe in regards of trying to lure people into wanting to love on the American politics anymore. I think it was Melania wanted a movie made about her and was prepared to withhold variety of sexual favors from the president of the United States in order to get that movie made about her. You've all heard, we are not talking about this, but if you would like to look into it, you are welcome to do so on your own time. But there is an ongoing theory that Melania Trump is actually Donald Trump's dominatrix. That is an ongoing theory that has a significant amount of interesting evidence to back it up. Look at it in your own time. By all means, enjoy yourselves. Do what you need to do. But, you know, just going to do a couple little shout outs here. I think my mods are all busy. First of all, people go check out Wild Annie. Wild Annie is a glorious human being. I was watching them play a variety of demos this morning. The Speakeasy Simulator looks quite interesting. It looks like it could be quite a fun one to indulge in when it's fully out, when it's all done and dusted and what have you. And also, go and check out the glorious Hey Alexander Griffin, who is wonderful and spectacular. Doing some just chatting. I don't know what you were chatting about, but normally plays a lot of story games. Story games very specifically that make her cry. She's a big fan of that. Big fan of crying. How she hasn't dehydrated, I've got no idea. But she just must consume a lot of electrolyte waters. Do you know what I mean? We ended Cyberpunk Day with some Contexto. I don't know what Contexto is, but fucking all right, okay. All right. There's actually, I've been sent a review key of a new Cyberpunk style game, which I might be playing I'll be playing the demo of sometime in the next couple of days, on Tuesday or Wednesday. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It looks really, really good. Looks like something that would definitely appeal to you cyberpunky folk out there, and I am a cyberpunky folk, so that might do it. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, felt mostly enjoyed the animated Spider-Man movies that have Miles Morales, because my kids are enjoying them and they're so beautifully done. Fair play. That's how I feel about zombies, Valand, and I have done for ages. Games, movies, TV's done. I find, do you know what Midgard? Do you know what I think is interesting about zombie movies? Zombie TV series, zombie movies, zombie everything. I find anything to do with zombies really, really, really fun and interesting until the very specific moment, until the humans become the enemies. There is a thing with all zombie movies, with all zombie TV series, especially TV series, when the zombie is no longer the threat, and it's the humans you got to be aware of, because it's always humans being nasty and horrible and oh, humans. That moment, the moment that the humans become the bad guy, I'm like, I don't care anymore. Isn't that kind of the point? Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's the reason why I don't give a shit anymore. Humans are always the enemy. Zombies are too slow to be a threat, unless you've got like World War Z. World War Z was fucking great because they were running zombies. I have to say I quite enjoyed the 28 Years Later Bone Temple. I have not seen it. I watched 28 Days Later and it was all right. It was okay. It wasn't enough to get me to want to watch more of them. But I know that Chunk is a massive, my housemate, Chunk is a massive fan of 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, and 28 Years Later. His perspective, if I remember correctly, his perspective of Bone Temple was, it was an enjoyable movie, but it felt like a Netflix movie as opposed to a cinema movie. And if you understand that, you can understand a lot of, like, there's an awful lot of the time where I'm like, yeah, that's a Netflix movie. That is not a movie that people go and see in the giant fuck off cinema. That's a movie that people sit on their sofa and put on their big 32, 42 inch TV. That kind of movie, you know? Yeah, Bone Temple better than the first of the newer two. That's interesting. That is interesting. It was controversial. And I will say as well, friends, if you are not from the United Kingdom, this is the fucking biggest PSA that I can give you. If you are not from the United Kingdom and you have seen 28 Years Later Bone Temple and you're like, ooh, I'd really like to cosplay of one of these characters, do not cosplay as any of the Jimmies. Do not cosplay as any of the Jimmies. Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. Do not cosplay as any of the Jimmies. Because the Jimmies, their aesthetic is based upon one of the most prolific pedophiles in the United Kingdom. Many people don't realize that when they watch Bone Temple. because the whole point was that when the rage virus hit, the royal family, no, not the royal family, no. Jimmy Savile is his name. When the rage virus hit, Jimmy Savile was dead, but hadn't been... Interesting. Oh, it came across as a link. Fagoth, it's all good. For some reason that I was deleted. And I was like, why is that? Why is that deleted? That's interesting. Jimmy Savile was a TV personality who was absolutely worshipped throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s. He died, and after his death was like, there was a bit of an investigation, but the real investigation that really sort of condemned Jimmy Savile, where all of the information came out, I think it came out in like 2012 or something like that. And the point of the movie, because 28 years later, that entire franchise is based around it's based within the United Kingdom, or based around the stuff that happens in the United Kingdom, is that the investigation, all of the really, really condemning evidence about Jimmy Savile came out after the rage virus supposedly hit in this alternate reality. So all of the people that grew up with Jimmy Savile would still worship Jimmy Savile in this post-apocalyptic world. His name was Jimmy Crystal in the movie, if I remember correctly. However, it means that there is a completely and utterly fucked up cult of people that all dress like Jimmy Savile. Americans don't seem to know who Jimmy Savile is. And I say Americans because that's the only place that I know that these people have been cosplaying as the Jimmys. Don't cosplay as the Jimmys, friends. And if you have any friends in America that are really into 28 Years Later Bone Temple, tell them not to cosplay as one of the Jimmys. Explain to them that Jimmy Savile, who is the character that all these people are based off, all these people are trying, like, idolizing in the movie, that is a real person. Yes. Yeah. Don't understand the story. Is that is a real person. So the person that the Jimmys are based off is based off a genuinely real human being who was a TV personality called Jimmy Savile. He did children's TV. He did Top of the Pops. He did MTV style stuff over in these. And he was a massive, massive abuser. He was like the UK version of Jeffrey Epstein. That's the only way I can really compare the level of abuse. That, like, it wasn't a full fucking island of fucking things that happened, but comparatively, in regards to fame, power, manipulation, and corruption, the only way I can really get the point across is he was the equivalent of Jeffrey Epstein in the United Kingdom. And obviously, Bone Temple, the timelines, the way they've done it is the timelines were that nobody really knew that this guy was as awful as he fucking was when the rage virus hit in this alternative universe. So everybody still would have fucking worshipped him. So that's the reason why there's this fucked up cult of people in this alternate reality that all worship Jimmy Savile and call themselves the Jimmys and what have you. So please, 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 if you just let people know. Let people know. Let people know. Give Americans too much credit that some of these cosplayers are that naive. I'm sure that they are quite a few who know who Jimmy is, considering things. I honestly don't know, because the thing is, Duchess Demona, you've got to remember that an awful lot of people in this day and age, a lot of the youngsters and stuff like that, don't know who the fucking Beatles were. Like, Paul McCartney. Most people don't know that person. Yeah, exactly. Paul McCartney, who is a member of the international sensation, The Beatles, did a song with Kanye West, and everyone was like, oh, isn't it so great of this guy, of Kanye, to, like, give this unknown artist such a prolific honor to be on his album, not realizing that Paul McCartney was a member of the Beatles. So I take absolutely fucking nothing for granted. I genuinely think that a lot of these people are watching this zombie movie being like, yeah, fucking hell, me and my friends, let's all dress up as the Jimmys because we'll cosplay together. It'd be a really fun group cosplay together. And it's just like, don't fucking do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't do that. That's bad. That is a bad thing. That is a bad thing. Don't do that. That's not okay. No. Don't. No. Big no. Big no. Anyway, we were talking about zombie movies. So yeah, zombie movies. Yeah, the zombie movies. I really like it when the zombies are the enemy and they're creeping around and there's the fear and aspect. The only TV series that I've watched that has got zombies in it that I still enjoyed very much was the Last of Us series. But that's because I think they balanced it really nicely between the vileness of human beings and the genuine threat of the zombies. But yeah, when it just becomes human drama, I'm like, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care anymore. I could literally go outside and see that. Why would I care? Hellraiser 4 is good and better than 3. I have watched the first Hellraiser movie, Frankie, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I got bored shitless of the first Hellraiser movie. I understand that it is a cult classic. I understand that fucking loads of people absolutely love it. I think it's one of the greatest fucking horror movies that's ever existed. I think the lore of the Cenobites are really fucking interesting. I think that's a genuinely fascinating thing, but I watched the movie and was like, this is shit. This is shit, and I am watching it for some reason. Why am I watching this? Pirates 4 and 5 were okay, but definitely felt forced. I watched the one with the mermaids and went, don't give a shit anymore. The first Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Captain Jack Sparrow, and was like, they are desperately trying here. Desperately trying. Clerks, Samurai Afro, I haven't seen any of the Clerks movies, so I couldn't speculate. I can't speculate on those ones because I don't know. I don't know. Unfortunately. People complain about a guy who was a sparkling vampire being Batman. The last Twilight movie was in 2012. Grow the fuck up. To be fair, I also know that Robert Pattinson has absolutely slated all of the Twilight movies. Never really wanted to be in them, but it was a good paycheck, so I went for it. And you know what? I get it. As an actor myself, I've been there. I've done things that I was genuinely not wanting to do because it's a good paycheck. The fact that he's grown up and he's still able to, is still being tarred with the brush, but still able to actually get fucking movies and stuff is excellent. Excellent news. Why did my music stop? Excuse me, music. Thank you. There we go. Mud Walhalla, how you doing? How's it going? 50 Shades of Hey. Exactly. End of Pirates 5 made me cry. Oh, was that the one with the Spanish conquistador, is it? No. It was like part of the Spanish Armada or something like that. Vaguely have recollections. People complain about Daniel Radcliffe doing movies that aren't for kids. People being people, I guess. Oh, absolutely. This is one of the major problems, Jason Andrew, with stardom and specifically child celebrities, is the fact that when a child becomes a celebrity, people think that they are not allowed to grow up, and it's fucking weird. It's really fucking weird because they can't get it out of their own heads. But then you've also got to remember that this is a world. The world in which we live is the world where the actor who performed Joffrey in Game of Thrones did such a phenomenal job at being a little dirty, sniveling prick of a human being that has now quit acting. Full stop. Has quit acting forever because of the amount of hate that he got for doing too good a job at playing a character. People would threaten him in the streets and send him hate mail and death threats because of the character he performed in a TV series. Make it make sense. Human beings need to grow the fuck up. You know what I mean? She's an absolute cunt. She certainly is. She certainly is. Not that actor. We're talking about J.K. Rowling. Guns Akimbo. Never even heard that one. Want to watch Swiss Army Man? Oh, is that the one where... That's the Daniel Radcliffe one where he plays a corpse, right? Same for the Hunger Games. I watched the first 2 Hunger Games. I think the first Hunger Games was like a good teenage action movie. Very much like late teenager target audience. The second one, I think I've seen the second one. I thought that was all right, but again, stretching a bit. I can't remember if I saw the third one. Apparently there are more after that, but again, it evidently wasn't good enough for me to watch all of them. Do you know what I mean? Johnny Knoxville announced the film on his official Instagram account on January 8th, 2026. During his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live on January 15th, 2025, he said that he cannot do any of the stunts that can lead to concussion anymore, as in Jackass Forever 2022, he got a broken rib, a broken wrist and a concussion, and a brain hemorrhage during a stunt with a bull. I watched... What did I watch that had Johnny Knoxville in it recently? I watched Polar with Mads Mikkelsen in it, and it has Johnny Knoxville in it. That was a weird movie. That was a weird movie. It was an unusual one. It was like really, really comic book in some bits, and then really dark and gritty in other, and there was no middle ground. It was just like, comic book, ha ha ha. Oh, look, dark and gritty, like, this is awful shit. Comic book, ha ha ha. Dark and gritty shit. There was no, like, middle ground to sort of, like, interweave between the two. It was just like this or this, nothing else. It was very disjointed. I found it hard to... It was like whiplash, emotional whiplash going between the two. Not getting to the Jackass movie, they just seemed like brain rot movies to me. If you were into Jackass in like the fucking early 2000s or whatever, I could imagine the first one was good. Like, I enjoyed the first one when I watched it, but I was young. And then I got to like 14, 15, and I was like, I don't give enough of a fuck about this shit. Why would I care anymore? Like... that's insulting to Jackass. No, I disagree, Kiara. I disagree. I think that the kind of... In fact, do you know what? Do you know what, Duchess Demona? I genuinely think that you have hit a very interesting point here. So, in this day and age, there is stuff that people consider to be brain rot, which is not including fucking AI bullshit, all right? But there's stuff like ridiculously repetitive, very over-the-top stuff that people watch that is brain rot. Do you know what I mean? That you can see it on YouTube, you see it on TikTok, you see it on all of these things. And I think a lot of it started with Jackass. Because Jackass was like, do you know what? We're going to do loads and loads of like fucking outrageous shit that is like pranks, but pranks cranked up to 11, and we do it on each other. And that's... that brain rot. Yeah. So it's like pranks that we do on each other, and we just crank it up to 11, and they just get more and more and more over the top, and they get more and more really fucking stupid and ridiculous and what have you. And the difference now is like, I think that's where some of these like social media, like content creator style pranks began. You see the origin of it with Jackass, which, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, it was an entertainment form in and of itself. But the only people that ever got really hurt were the people involved, the people that were like part of the Jackass crew. Do you know what I mean? The only people that ever really got hurt was those people. And then on the other side of it, you have the other end of the spectrum after all these years later of the slow progression of pranks getting more and more and more and more outrageous, to the point where you've got like fucking Johnny Somali, who is literally going to be spending some time in a Korean prison for the fucked up shit he's done. Oh, it's just a prank. And like, I can see it. Like, do you know what? I never even connected the dots before, Duchess Demona, until you mentioned the fact that like Jackass was like, felt brain rotty. And I was like, do you know what? Like, brain rot as a term, as an understanding, as a reference, wasn't really a thing back when Jackass came out. But I can connect the dots. I can absolutely connect the dots to where Jackass began, which I did enjoy when I first saw it. Where Jackass began to the really fucked up shit that people do to bystanders, to non-consenting parties in this day and age. Do you know what I mean? I can see it. I can see it. Absolutely. Connect those dots 100%. Big bit of red string that just goes between them. And I've got nothing against Jackass. Like, as much as I grew out of it at the age of like 14, 15 or what have you, I've got nothing against them because, again, the only people they were fucking hurting was themselves. The only people that they injured was the people in the crew. Hold on. I sneezed. So I've got nothing. If you want to do stupid shit to yourself, fucking whatever. It's all between consenting adults. Sure. No issues at all. The moment it starts getting onto, like... Yeah, the moment you start getting into the realms of hurting other people or pranking people that you don't fucking know and shit like that. The one that immediately springs to mind, and actually this was a prank, but it was a prank that went horribly fucking wrong. It went viral, so I don't know whether any of you have seen it, but it was a very good example of only pranking people you fucking know, that know the fucking boundaries and stuff like that. There was a dude that dressed up as a dude who dressed up as a bush, and he'd sit in a plant pot and he'd scare people that walked by. Many of you will have seen many people do this. You just scare people as they walk by, everyone shits themselves, and everyone laughs. Ha 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 ha. Fun and games, all shits and giggles. Ha ha ha. However, there was one time where this dude, doing his usual shit, sat in a plant pot, disguised as a bush, scared a young femme individual, and she just burst out crying. She just, like, instantly fucking wailed. Tears everywhere, screaming into the fucking void, because whether it had been she just had the worst fucking day of her life, and now some prick in a fucking ghillie suit had decided to make her jump and scare the shit out of her, whether she was neurodivergent and she couldn't deal with the loud fucking bangs because her stress levels were so fucking high. Whatever it was, this fucking random dude who was pranking innocent people in the street caused this poor human being to have a fucking meltdown out of nowhere. Because that is the perfect example for me. That is the perfect example between you prank your friends, you don't prank random fucking people. Prank your friends where you know where the fucking boundaries are. You know where the fucking boundaries lie. You know what kind of people they're at. You know that they're in for the joke, shits and giggles, fun, fun, fun. Don't prank random people. You don't know where the fuck they are. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what fucking thing is. That could, for all we know, that response could have been a trauma response. Because she had fucking PTSD. You don't fucking know. And it is honestly the fact that we are in a civilization where that is considered to be entertainment. I'll take Jackass any day of the fucking week. Because within Jackass, they only did it to each other. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, down that rabbit hole go. Jason Andrew, it's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing. It's all about the electrolytes, Alexandra. Absolutely. Contexto is a game where you try to guess the word based on similarity to other words. That sounds interesting. How's it going, Home Tech? How you doing? Wag the frig, man. Exactly. Exactly. All of those wags and the fricks and all of those things. Home Tech. Absolutely. In the book, they weren't. Oh, Frankie, is there a Bone Temple book? 28 years later, Bone Temple book? Because I don't know. This is all new to me. That's point for zombie media. That's why I don't care for it. That's fair. I can understand that, absolutely. Like, true, not zombies, but I liked it. The rage virus is zombies. I know, like, this... okay, all right. We actually did a deep dive on zombies a while ago. The only thing that you're actually can realistically speaking officially call zombies are voodoo undead puppets made by an evil voodoo priest. Those are the only official zombies, which is the reason why Night of the Living Dead isn't technically zombies. Then you've got the whole virus dynamic, the mushroom dynamic, the virus dynamic of like Resident Evil and World War Z and shit like that, where it's like it's a virus. You've got the mushroom dynamic of like The Last of Us. You've got the rage virus of 28 years later, or 28 days later, the 28 laters. There was one, I can't remember which movie it is, but there's one where it's like a parasite. There was it being a weird virus that sort of devolves people in, was that like I Am Legend or something like that? They're all zombies. They're all zombie movies. They're all zombie movies. I understand why they're not, but they're all zombie movies. Well, certainly follow the same yoke of it for sure. For sure. Oh, that's horrifying. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty fucked. Sorry about that. Like what? Why would they do that? To be honest with you, Pix, like anybody who dresses as one of the Jimmies from 28 Years Later Bone Temple, I genuinely believe they don't know. Because nobody willingly dresses as a person convicted of the things that Jimmy Savile was convicted. Do you know what I mean? You're one of the intelligent ones, VV. You know about the City of London. I hope you and your loved ones make it. Try my best. Try my best, Fagoth. Did the Teletubbies start when that controversy came out? I honestly don't know, Junakers. It features the Teletubbies, and I was thinking surely it was all known by then. No. So I believe... So the initial accusations, going back to 28 Years Later Bone Temple thing, the original accusations were because of a Louis Theroux documentary on Jimmy Savile. And that was before the rage virus. However, the official legal investigation into Jimmy Savile wasn't done until a few years later. You Americans too much credit. Yeah. The Louis Theroux documentary was a couple of years before the virus. Yes, Frankie, thank you very much. Yeah. So the Louis Theroux documentary was a couple of years later. Some people would be aware, but only if you... That was one of the early things that one of the early things that made Louis Theroux's name big, I seem to remember. But the official, like the legal investigation into the actions and the power and the corruption and obviously the excessive amounts of abuse of Jimmy Savile weren't done until a couple of years, like after the rage virus in this alternate universe. Kids don't know about the Beatles, isn't it? But true, yeah, they don't. They don't know all that Samurai Afro. It's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing. I'll give it to you with the kids, but the adults. To be honest with you, Duchess Mona, this I can understand the side eye, absolutely, but I don't know how big Jimmy Savile was in other countries. Because Jimmy Savile was big in the United Kingdom because of the BBC. And the BBC was a British television company. I genuinely don't know whether Jimmy Savile was well known outside of the United Kingdom. Traveled a lot, but I don't know whether he was well known outside of the United Kingdom. Household name in the UK. Fagoth, absolutely, completely understand what you are saying there. You say careful about the term pedophile. I'm using it in the legally and psychologically correct term. Didn't know who the Beatles were till you were 17. Yeah. Made it 3 hours into workday before my body decided to throw a tantrum. Headache, just won't quit, and surgical leg aches. No, want to cribble. If you need to disappear off, please do so. Please look after yourself, you beautiful individual. Hellraiser 1 and 2 are like one big film. I really struggled with 1. I really struggled to get into 1. In fact, I couldn't get into 1. I just couldn't do it. Can't wait for the Hellraiser game. Yeah, the Hellraiser game. Do you know what? I'd be interested to play the Hellraiser game, Tunackers, purely because of the like, I feel like I might get more of the lore that I would be interested in the Hellraiser game than I would through the movies. Because I'm interested in the Cenobites and the way that they have come about and what have you. Do you know what I mean? New Robert Pattinson would be a good Batman. I've heard he's really good. I don't know. I've not seen it, but I have heard he's very good. All the actors have done projects that we didn't want to do before. All of actors in general, yeah, absolutely. Even did one for free as a favor to an old friend. Yep, been there. Been there many times before. Absolutely. Nibirin, how you doing, you beautiful individual? Never heard of him. So just to catch you up, we were talking about 28 years later, Bone Temple and the cult of the Jimmies, and how people outside of the UK don't know that that is based off Jimmy Savile. And Jimmy Savile was like, the best way I can describe him is he was like the UK equivalent of Jeffrey Epstein. Like, he didn't have an island or anything, but in regards to power, influence, corruption, and abuse, he was like the UK equivalent. That's the only way I can really describe him to really explain the gravity to people about how fucking awful this person was. So yeah, that's just to bring you up to date on what that was all about. What that was all about. Movie with the Spanish conquistadors. Yeah, what was that? The fifth one? The fifth Pirates of the Caribbean? We're talking movies. Yeah, it was. I watched some of that, and it just felt a bit money grabby. Bardem. Or his name is Bardem. The actor who played Joffrey did return for the Sandman in season 2. Oh, really? I don't know. I've not seen season 2 after the accusations that were made against the author. I can't even remember his name now. I couldn't really bring myself to watch it. The one who voiced the antagonist in The Last of Us Chapter 2 game also got death threats and hate because of her character, what her character did in the game. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, because people are fucking idiots. People are fucking idiots. People can't deal with the fact that actors play characters. Play the party boy thing because that's how we can dance from Jackass. Oh my god. Never understood the appeal of Jackass. It was... So the appeal of Jackass... how's it going, Jam Jam? The appeal of Jackass was idiocy. And weirdly, like, the target audience of Jackass was teenage boys. The target audience of Jackass was teenage boys. Because it was the first real display of taking pranks to an extreme. Of like, what could you do to prank your friends if you had all of the money in the world? Or all of the money and no limits in the world. And they were in on it and they wanted to get involved and all that shit. It was idiocy, and more specifically, the permission to be an idiot. And so I can see why. I can see why it appealed. And it appealed to me when I was a 13, 14-year-old boy, but I just grew out of it. Whereas I definitely have friends now who still very much rewatch a lot of the Jackasses, and they're like, this is really funny, ha 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 ha. It blows my mind that they're still doing them, because Johnny Knox, in fact, all of the people that were in the Jackass team are not young people. They are not young. They will not be healing as fast as they did when they were in their youths. Do you know what I mean? I knew within one episode of Jackass that I was going to hate it. Yeah, that's fair. I can understand why. Absolutely. Films cranked up to 11 are a generational thing. If you work within a time frame that's 100 years instead of an internet age, you might not like what you find. Oh yeah, absolutely, Fagoth. Absolutely. There are plenty of movies that have not aged well in any way, shape, or form. The one that immediately springs to mind that I genuinely thought was fucking hilarious when I first watched it, and then realized how fucking awful it is with life experience, was Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Because when I watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, I had no fucking concept, no fucking understanding at all of the trans dynamic, of what it is to be a trans person. I had no understanding of a lot of dynamics, especially in regards to like transphobia and that kind of thing. I had no concept of that stuff. So when I watched it, I was like, this is very funny. Ha 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 ha. Everyone's laughing. This must be very entertaining. And then I grew up and I met trans people and I went, oh fuck, this is horrifically damaging. What an awful, awful movie. Do you know what I mean? Samisitis, how you doing, you cheeky devil? Ace Ventura 2 is the best. Boycott the first one. Too triggering for me, understandably. I have not watched the second one since I first watched it because the first one was awful. Well, the first one has not aged well in any way, shape, or form. And as a result, I don't really want to watch the second one. You know? By hurting yourself and your friends in ways that are completely avoidable and necessary. Yep. Yeah. Friendship. Everyone has different types of friendships. The Jackass crew have always had love for each other because that's how they are. Yep, absolutely. It's kind of like some of my oldest and closest friends are the ones that bully me the most. And I, in turn, bully them the most. Because we know where each other's boundaries are. And if anyone ever changes that boundary, we fully respect it. But it's absolutely done out of love. It's like taking the piss out of each other. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really call it bullying. So it's absolutely taking the piss out of each other. And they are my oldest and closest friends. And I know that if there is ever a situation where I desperately need somebody to be there for me instantly, every single one of those people would drop everything to be there for me. Every single one of them. Without fail. In fact, a classic example of that, an absolutely classic example of that, is the person who probably bullies me the most out of my friendship group, and the person that I in turn bully the most in our friendship group. Max, you beautiful bean. Give me 2 seconds while I finish this, and I'll be with you. And you're tier 2, you're 74 months. Jesus Christ. I'll be with you in 2 seconds, you beautiful bean. Yeah, this friend of mine who I've known for a million billion years bullies me the most, and I in turn bully them the most. Absolutely. When they were in a snowboarding accident in Austria and lost their spleen, I was on a plane the day after I found out. To get to the hospital that they were in, to take them some food, be there with them, make sure everything was all right, make sure they had plans, make sure they had money, make sure they had stuff going on. And that trip was orchestrated and organized by another friend of ours who also bullies us. So as much as I completely get the whole, like, the alien notion of being like, this is horrifically toxic, like you're injuring each other, you're hurting each other, this is really, really awful. And it might not be for you, and that is perfectly okay. That is perfectly okay. I also understand there being a bond there that it's a display of affection in a way. And interestingly, now that I think about it, from a different perspective, do I really want to make that comparison? Yeah, I am going to make that comparison. There is a trust, whether we like to believe it or not, and it might seem really fucking alien in this, but there is a trust that happens between the Jackass crew that is on par with like a BDSM dynamic, without like because people should know that there's a massive difference between BDSM and kink and sex. There's two different things. These people, these group of lads, consent to do these pranks together, to get hurt or potentially horrifically injured with each other, but they all trust that if there is a point where they need to draw a boundary, that everyone will fucking respect it. If there's a point where something goes too far, that everyone will jump in to help. It's a loose connection, but I can see the connection. I can see how the trust that they have with everyone else in that team is similar to the way that in a BDSM dynamic you trust somebody with issuing you pain in a consensual way, you know? Don't get me wrong. I like I said, I grew out of it. It was not something for me by any stretch of imagination. As of 15, I was like, well, this is fucking idiotic. Why do I care? But looking back, it's like it's interesting to explore that from a different perspective, you know. Max wattage. I was about to use the gold pen, but I don't need the gold pen. It's the black pen of the tier 2 dynamics. I should now describe your name on the mirror vein. By having your name on the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat. You also get a discount on the old merchandise, and you take us 2 steps closer to the 60-40 split, you beautiful individual, you. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes, including the tier 2 Pokemon emotes with my face on them. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I wish I was someone else. Because then I'd get to look at me. Ooh, sexy, ooh, yes, meow, you know? You know? But don't get me wrong, Alexandra. Don't get me wrong. I can completely understand why that friendship can look horrifically toxic from the outside. Completely and utterly. I absolutely get it. Because without having been involved with it at a younger age, having friendships that have a different, more aggressive dynamic, and understanding some of the trust that comes into a dangerous situation like that, I would probably look at that from the outside and be like, yeah, this is horrifically toxic. This is really, really awful, you know? Not feel, but yeah, again, not judging by any stretch of imagination and not being in thingies. Not necessarily toxic between the guys. When chips are down, they do care about each other. One of them had a huge drug problem and everyone else staged an intervention to help them. The Jackass crew fuck around with each other, but if it was toxic, they wouldn't come back for multiple movies. They even hang out as normal people with no pranks off screen. Yeah, I mean, they're all grown up now. Do you know what I mean? I like to watch pranks where I want to be the one being pranked. The kid being fooled into thinking that a dog is talking. Yeah, those ones are quite fun. I mean, there's innocent pranks out there. It's when you're scaring people, I think that it becomes more of a problem. Do you know what I mean? Well, Wazzy, the zombies are slow. The one with Brad Pitt. Yeah, they're not slow. I remember them climbing a building. Oh, in the book of World War Z, the zombies are slow. Oh, I got you. Thank you very much for the reminder of context there. Because, yeah, I remember them climbing a building. Max White, thank you very much. Gigantifying, bloody hell, gigantifying some pretty unhinged emotes there, Max and Eris. Good lord. Good lord. Fast zombies make no sense. Their legs would snap off of a week, only if they're dead. If it's not a virus. Oh, if they are the undead, then yeah, absolutely. If it's a parasitic organism, depends how the parasite works. If it's a fungus, depends again. That's kind of why the fungus one in Last of Us makes a little bit more sense, because you get ones that burn fast but die fast, and then you get the ones that explode because it's all about the spores, isn't it? All about the spores. Singing in the dark, listening to your dulcet tones. I'm very glad to hear it. Very glad to hear it. Not sure you could stream the Hellraiser game, though, unless it has options for censoring. I don't think it would be a problem, Tunakers, to be honest with you. Given the fact that stuff like Visage and what was the other one? There are some pretty fucking horrific games out there that are perfectly fine to stream on Twitch. Twitch has some, as much as I absolutely love this platform, Twitch has some very interesting separation, compartmentalization between the way that they deal with different dynamics. You can watch the brutal, visceral murder of somebody in a horror game, but you can't see consenting adults do things together in exactly the same way of movies. You can watch some pretty horrible fucking shit, but the moment the two consenting adults are like, yes, in exactly the same way as I found out recently that you can make jokes in extreme amounts of explicit detail, and no one gives a shit. But the moment that I did a sex education stream without putting on the mature content filter, I got a slap on the wrist. And it's just like, American Puritan culture affecting media? No, it's not American at all. Puritan culture is across all countries, I'm afraid to tell you, Samicitis. But I think it's a bit deeper than that. Because to be honest with you, I think that Twitch would probably be okay with letting anything get away with anything if it wasn't for payment processing providers, and there's a couple of other bits, a couple of other things. The Batman was a decent film. Not really a fan of Pattinson, but most of the film was enjoyable. Yeah, that's the one that I wouldn't. That's the only comic book movie that has come out in recent history that I have been like, ooh, I'd be tempted to watch that. I'd be tempted to watch that. I've spoken to people from countries that used to be part of the British Empire and still are the Commonwealth nations. There is a profound sympathy and compassion for the state of affairs in the UK. Good. It's pretty fucked, I have to say. Horrible people, got it. Yeah, exactly that, Nibirin. That's why I tried to watch season 2 of the Sandman. Everyone is miserable. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I have a real issue, as you all know. I have a real issue separating the art from the artist when the artist has any description of gain from the art. Monetary, influence, power, anything. If the artist is gaining from the art, then I struggle to interact with that art and feel okay. As a result, I will not watch Sandman 2. Do you know what I mean? In exactly the same way that I won't watch, I won't play Mugenics. because there's some pretty fucking not okay people involved in that. Father couldn't stop watching it when he was in his 50s, yeah. We stopped bending by a certain age for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Do they still do that? Yeah. So I didn't realize this, Nibirin. I thought the Jackass troupe were done and dusted because they are all a lot older now. But there's a new Jackass movie coming out. Somebody said at the end of the month. Was it the end of this month or the end of next month or something? There's a new Jackass movie. And they've all got to be in like their 50s. They've all got to be in like their 50s. You know? Mr. Bargains, how you doing, you beautiful individual? Second one, age worse for you, Kiara. Yeah. It's not. Even Jim Carrey is called out. Jim Carrey, I feel like Jim Carrey is a great example of a person who applied the knowledge that he gained. He did a lot of things in his youth, a lot of different movies, a lot of different things, and then he learned about different dynamics and then was like, yeah, this isn't okay. I have a lot of, as much as I struggle with some of Jim Carrey's movies and some of Jim Carrey's acting in the past, like his early movies I struggle with just because it doesn't gel with me, even if it's not a problematic movie. But I feel I have a deep sense of respect for Jim Carrey for, first of all, being very openly calling out shit. And secondly, for the fact that he openly admits and takes accountability for his mistakes that he has made in the past. The knowledge that he seems to get is like he grows, he learns, and he applies that knowledge as he grows and learns. Do you know what I mean? And tries to educate others. Jim Carrey's worst role, Count Olaf. Fuck right off. Fuck right off. Not a fucking chance. Amazing role. Jim Carrey's Count Olaf made that movie. That movie was decidedly average if it wasn't for Jim Carrey. Was he an anti-vaxxer? Jim Carrey anti-vax? Jim Carrey's views on vaccinations have caused controversies in the past. When was this article written? April 30th, 2022. This is... Making laugh, blah, 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 blah. 2017, he thinking there's no meaning to any of this. I want to find meaningless... Another hair outside his stance on vaccines. He's never shied away from sharing the eternal sunshine on his spotless mind. On several occasions, the star Jim Carrey has publicly expressed his disdain for vaccines, especially when it comes to vaccinating children. In 2009, he wrote a HuffPost essay objecting to child vaccinations due to perceived links to autism, which we all know is bollocks. This was 2009, though. Since removed the essay platform amid the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2008, he spearheaded the Green Hour vaccines, which was with the goal of removing toxins from children's vaccines. What toxins, you ask? In 2015 series of tweets, he denounced California government for signing law into mandatory vaccines, writing he was concerned about mercury and aluminium in mandatory vaccines. They say that mercury in fish is dangerous, but forcing all of our children to be injected with mercury in thimerosal is no risk. He followed the comments with, I am not anti-vaccine, I'm anti-thimerosal. thimerosal, anti-mercury. They're taking some mercury-laden thingies out of vaccines. Not all. Interesting. Well, today I learned. So he is not anti-vaccines. He is make vaccines safe. But then the question is, like, what qualifications does he have to dictate what is and what is not safe? However, given the way the American healthcare system is, I can understand some of that. Because there is quite literally the whole big pharma thing where I'm not going to get into that. Not justifying that, because I am very much vaccinations are there for a fucking reason. Do you know what I mean? I took all my COVID vaccines. Thing is, I know that his ex-partner was very anti-vaccine. Very, very much anti-vaccine. Where was I? A friend of mine was an extra in Ace Ventura when Nature Calls. He was one of the Shaolin monks. Oh, interesting. Breathe aside for a happy thought. I'm all for a good happy thought, for sure. For sure. That's pretty cool. Would be pretty fun as a role, especially when they cheer the Ace is leaving. Can't shit talk with all of our... We can't shit talk with all of our friends. Shit talking is a special bond. Yes, I agree. I agree. They consent to pain and potential injury, need contracts, need communication, trust, and camaraderie. Exactly. How you doing, Lunacon? How you doing? The main reason why I love Jackass is the love that is mixed in with the vulgarity. That's fair. That is fair. Not my cup of tea by any stretch. It was when I was a teenage boy, but not mine by any stretch of imagination anymore, for sure. For sure. The bit of zombies climbing the wall in the book, those are unaffected humans trying to get in. Oh, shit. Well, I never. I heard that the movie has very little of the book in it. They just made the movie for the action, not the story. Interesting. Seemed like it. There's no main character in the book. It's just a bunch of stories from around the world. Oh, well, there you go. I did not know any of this. I can't even remember much of World War Z, to be honest with you. I remember Brad Pitt tying a magazine to his arm. That's like it. That's all I remember. The fungus bit is also already kind of a thing. Cordyceps. Yeah. Cordyceps fungus take control of insects. Yes. And there's different cordyceps fungus. The thing about it that's really fucked up, one true cripple. And if anybody is afraid of a fungus-based zombie apocalypse, now is the time to go and make a cup of tea. Now is the time to go and make a cup of tea. Because the cordyceps fungus is uniquely evolved to only be applicable to the specific insect that it grows in. So there is an ant variation of the cordyceps fungus. There is a moth variation of the cordyceps fungus. There is a spider variation of the cordyceps fungus. There are different versions of the cordyceps fungus for different insect types. And they're different genuses. Do you know what I mean? They're different variations from the genus. However, one delightfully annoying and very bloody ridiculous young biology student in some bloody university decided to genetically modify a cordyceps fungus to grow on human tissue. And he literally took some of his own skin and managed to make cordyceps fungus grow off it. Out of curiosity. Why would you do that even if it was for science? Why are they making AI when the Terminator movie exists? you know what I mean? It's similar thought. Let me see if I can find the article I read. Cordyceps. It's fungus grown on human flesh. Oh shit, there is already an infection cycle, apparently, for a fungus called silver leaf disease, which is apparently some variation of cordyceps fungus. I can't find it. There's a lot of the science behind the thingy, but there was a specific student. Was this it? If it connects.
Oh, you followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful individual. I don't like to call people out just in case they're lurking. Teaching cordyceps to consume human tissue, what could go wrong? A TikToker has got people worried that we could see The Last of Us in real life after he grew his own cordyceps and ate it. Earlier this year, the hit apocalyptic video game returned to HBO series. So this was 2023, November 2023, this article was written. So a whole new level of scary when when they realized that cordyceps, the deadly fungus that turns those infected into monstrous zombie-like creatures, is also a real-world fungus. In the real world, cordyceps managed to grow on small insects and effectively turn them into puppets. The fungus takes the insect into a high spot in the forest and then bites down on a plant before the fungus consumes everything inside its host. The high position then allows the fungus to spread across the forest, infecting more insects. Now, TikToker and fungus expert Jacob Riley Hood has decided to grow his own cordyceps fungus using his own blood and skin. Cordyceps cannot infect humans due to our impressive immune system, but Hood's action still got people worried. In his TikTok, Hood explained that cordyceps fungus have been growing, he has been growing cordyceps fungus using his own blood, dead skin, and rice. After having a look at the fungus under a microscope, he then inexplicably decides that the next logical step is to taste some of the fungus. Even more concerningly, he said it tasted sweet and that he'd do it again. The article goes on. If anyone wants to read the full article, I will put the link in chat so you can read it if you would like to. If you would like to. Where was I? Oh yeah, the concept. There we go. DC just decided to reboot itself when you were talking about Hellraiser streaming. Yeah, so what I was saying about the Hellraiser game, Tunakas, is there are a lot of very brutal, very visceral, very graphic horror games that are perfectly allowed on Twitch. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't allow it on thingy. There are horror games that display all manner of fucked up things, including genitalia, childbirth is available in some of them and stuff like that, because the whole thing is, as long as you're not focusing on it for a prolonged period of time, you're fine. So I would be surprised if the Hellraiser game is not allowed on Twitch. How you doing, Shaden Sunshine? How you doing? But it radiates from the US. What, the Puritan culture? No, I disagree. The British were far more Puritan than the US have been in a long period of time. I don't think it radiates from the... I think that a lot of things do radiate from the US and what have you, but I think that the UK censorship that is going on at the moment is entirely because of ourselves. That has nothing to do with America. It has so much to do with America in regards of UK people seeing what's going on in America and seeing some of the things that have happened, like media and social media and stuff like that. So I think that that's a thing. But I think that the censorship that's happening in the UK is very much based within the UK. I am afraid not, Alexander Griffin. I do not have the doggo. I only had them for 24 hours. She was a gem. I was looking after my brother's dog last week. Use archive footage. The next one, mix of new stuff. And I have a feeling they won't be like your usual Jackass film. Yeah, I would probably imagine not. They're old people. They're old peoples. You know what I mean? They're getting on at the very least. Jim Carrey regretted doing Kick-Ass, I think, ages ago. That doesn't surprise me. Called out racist by saying black people helped me with starting my career. I was on In Living Color, show created by black people. Oh, really? Jenny McCarthy, his ex-girlfriend. Jenny McCarthy, who has her own death count. Oh god. Why blame a woman for a man's behavior? How do you know he didn't already believe it and found a partner who's in belief? That's very true. Very, very true. We don't know that. Because she's well known for being utterly batshit regarding vaccines. Which is fair, but that doesn't mean that, like, what Alexandra's saying is completely and utterly true. That doesn't mean that he didn't just resonate with that. Like, trying to prove that she convinced him to be anti-vax is, like, yeah. You can blame his ex-wife all you want, but at the end of the day, he still was the one that said it. Unless he comes out now and says, actually, do you know what? I disagree. I am actually pro-vaccination. I just didn't fully understand the situation or what have you, or I was being influenced by my wife. Then, you know, just because somebody has a reason for something does not excuse their behavior. A reason does not an excuse make. I say this a lot. Pronouncing thimerosal right, but the mercury hasn't been in vaccines for decades because they discovered thimerosal caused issues. Okay. It's an interesting large manufacturer to have vaccine liability exemptions and cooperative set of lawmakers. Yeah. Yes. And I always found it very, very interesting because obviously I used to work in pharmaceuticals. For those people that are new here that might not know that. I used to work in a pharmaceutical factory. I was an auditor. I would go around and I would make sure that other pharmaceutical factories were making stuff that was up to code. Hold on a minute. Have I got a mod available? Moderators? Are you around, please? For a moment. Because there is a big conversation going on in chat. And do you know what? Fuck it, I can do it myself. Nibbering, could you do me a favor and put chat in emo only mode for a moment, please? Because I do not have that key currently available. Just nothing against anybody that's in chat, but I just want to catch up with what's being said, because I understand that this is, when it comes to vaccinations and anti-vaxxing and stuff like that, it's a controversial topic. And I just want to check what everyone said before it gets too out of hand, because I am behind in chat and I don't like that. mm, Max, the whole thing, the vaccines were always safe and don't contain anything that was he was complaining about, just conspiracy nonsense, which is entirely fair, but that doesn't mean that that's always been the case. I know for a fact, having been a pharmaceutical auditor, that pharmaceutical companies, for the vast majority of the time, will only change something when they have to. There have been an untold amount of deaths, disfigurements, and long-term health issues caused by a variety of different medications. I'm not just going to say vaccinations, I'm going to say medications, because of lax regulations, unknown side effects that came about much later. The classic example I can give you is thalidomide. The thalidomide children that had issues with it was a morning sickness drug to help with morning sickness, and it inhibited the development of the fetus in the womb. And for years and years and years, they were like, no, it wasn't us, it wasn't us, it wasn't us, it wasn't us. It was only when a legal investigation got involved that they were like, oh no, it is you. And they were like, fuck yeah, fair enough, it was us. Like, that is, as much as I completely agree with what you're saying in regards to, like, there was nothing wrong with those, the safety of those specific vaccinations and the stuff that Jim Carrey was complaining about and stuff, that doesn't change the fact that across the medical board, across pharmaceuticals in general, they are corporations, and corporations will always do what they can to get away with something and be blameless for something as long as they possibly can. And if they can get away with it completely, they will do. They will do. Having worked in pharmaceuticals, I know this is true, because I have seen it. I have physically seen it. Do you have anything before you use with her and you carry on after they split? Not saying that he's blameless, going whatever. Every time there's something sciencey based on these streams, I end up down a rabbit hole. Completely understand that. Common sense is so underrated these days. It's true. Cordyceps are available in a lot of stuff from health food shops. It's nothing new. Yeah. Well, that was, I think that was one of the reasons why the dude ate it, was because he was like, the human stomach acid will kill whatever is in the cordyceps, like whatever fungus it is, the human system will be able to kill it. Our immune systems are too strong to be infected by something like this. He ate it too. I had fungal infection a few times. Why would you do that? Why would you zombify? Yeah, I know, right? Okay, thank you very much, mods. If you want to undo emo only mode, I get what you're saying. I get what was going on there. There was a conversation between whether Jim Carrey was influenced by his wife in regards to anti-vaxxing, or whether it was thingy. And the fact of the matter is, people need to take accountability for their own. I think, do you know what? I think Jim Carrey's actually one of the people that does, generally speaking, does take accountability for his own actions, regardless of what influenced those actions. If he's still anti-vaxxer now, then he's still an anti-vaxxer now and should take accountability for those things. Whether he was swayed by his wife or not doesn't change the fact that he made some bold statements in regards to vaccinations. And I completely agree that we should blame Jim Carrey's ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, what have you, for her own views, but let's not blame her for the statements made by Jim Carrey about anti-vaccination. He could have stayed quiet. He could have said, my wife has some strong opinions, but he didn't. He chose to make his own decisions, and we will never know whether they were decisions that he aligned with his girlfriend prior to that, or whether they were influenced by that woman. We don't know. We got no fucking clue, and we're never gonna know. But a reason does not an excuse make. Just because somebody has a reason for something, regardless of what that reason is, does not excuse their behavior. And I agree, Alexandra, in the regards of we shouldn't be blaming his anti-vaxxer wife for the statements that he made. I agree with that. Even if she was a very predominant anti-vax individual. And thank you very much for waiting, friends. I just wanted to catch up with that. The reason why, friends, is because I know that I get behind in chat. As you all know, I get behind in chat. And I have had topics of conversation spiral out of control before. And I just want to make sure that I try and catch up with it before it does spiral out of control and I end up... I talk about the fact that we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about politics because I did one stream on politics. And in that stream, I lost 50 followers and 3 moderators. So we don't talk about politics. And the reason why, the absolute reason why, is because I was so fucking far behind in chat. The conversations had continued and continued and continued, and arguments had happened and threats had happened and things had spiraled so out of control because you people get me and you can see my face, you can see my body language, you can see my tone of voice, but you don't get that in text. So you don't know whether somebody's being sarcastic, you don't know whether somebody's trying to wind you up, you don't know whether somebody's being completely fucking serious or whether they're saying something in a calm tone or an aggressive tone. You don't get any of that kind of information. So when I saw that was that conversation was continuing on, I just wanted to nip it in the bud and just check where we were at with it. But I agree. I think that generally speaking, we should hold people accountable for their own statements, regardless of what those statements have been influenced by, whether it be original views or whether they've been influenced by partners or what have you. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that a person said something, they should be held accountable for it. Just as if I say something, I should be held accountable for it. Like when I turned around many years ago and said, "Don't fucking call me sis." And I was held accountable for it by the chat, and I held myself accountable for it too. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I agree entirely, for sure. Why would you do that even for science? Yeah, exactly, the whole thing. According to the 2025 US State Department report, China may be incorporating artificial intelligence into a biological weapon program. Fagoth, I'm not going to lie to you, but anything that comes out of the US government right now, I am taking with a massive pinch of salt. A massive, massive pinch of salt. Because most of the political statements that come out these days come out in Twitter form. And that's fucking bullshit. Anyway. In reality, it ends up being a matter because you can. A matter of because you can, somebody will do it. Oh, absolutely. It's the rule 34 of the science world. If you can do it, somebody will. Every time there's something sciencey-based, you end up in a deep dive. Yeah, absolutely. Completely and utterly. Cordyceps are available in a lot of stuff from health food shops. There's nothing new, yeah. Like, the article specifically said that it was... that within the human body, majority of the time, can fight off the cordyceps virus, because our immune systems, even a weakened immune system, is strong enough to fight it off. The reason why it infects insects as opposed to human beings and mammals and lizards and stuff like that, is because insects have, like, insects A, don't have a particularly long lifespan, and B, their immune systems aren't built to fend off disease and shit like that. Not in the same way, especially not like fungus and stuff. You know, the guy's a mycologist. Apparently, TikToker and mycologist. Hellraiser contains boobies and lovemaking, at least the trailer anyway, but there is an uncensored version. Tunakers, I don't think that'll be a problem, to be honest with you. Boobies are definitely not a problem because you got The Witcher 3. Yeah, The Witcher 3, Baldur's Gate. They've all got titties in them, and they've got no issue there. Let me have a quick look at the prohibited games on Twitch. Yeah, the one that I was specifically looking for in the prohibited games on Twitch was Lust for Darkness. So the Lust series, Lust for Darkness, Lust from Beyond, and the new game that's coming out called Lust for God. That entire series of games is based around erotic horror, and they're not banned on Twitch. They're not banned on Twitch. So I don't think it'll be a problem, to be honest with you. I genuinely don't think it'll be a problem. I say Count Olaf is the worst role because I like the gothic sets and everyone was toned down. Then Jim Carrey, who I love, comes in and gives me a headache. I'm glad that Robotnik shows that he can play a villain role if he is well directed. Oh no, I thought he was excellent as Count Olaf. I thought he was genuinely fucking excellent as Count Olaf. I thought he was a better Count Olaf than the TV series. I can't remember his name, but the guy who did it in the TV series. Personally. Take your meds, they say. These are about SSRI's National Library of Medicine. Knock yourself out. Oh, I'm not going to look into it, Fagoth. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like vax is a public health issue. Hard line to draw sometimes when it's politics and does change different cultures. Yes it does. Don't call me friend buddy, don't call me buddy pal. Don't call me pal friend. If I tell you I'm an accountant, will you hold me to account? Emphasis on hold me, so I can see what I can share from my account. I mean, why not? Sure. Played Witcher 3 and didn't have it censored and it was fine. Yeah, it's not a problem. So the rule is, in regards to Twitch terms of service, the rule is, so long as you don't focus on those things, it's fine. So when the sex scenes happen in Baldur's Gate 3, you're just like, cool, quickly move on and carry on. No issues at all. I'm the one that goes to the extra fucking mile with like censored fucking screens and shit like that. But that's because I choose to. That's just me as a person, you know? But so long as you're not focusing, so long as you're not spending, like, see a pair of titties on the fucking screen and like you pause the game just so you can stare at the titties, then you're fine. Do you know what I mean? Stepped away and came back to saucy chat. Yeah, we were talking about the Hellraiser game, and apparently there's boobies and potentially coital engagement within the Hellraiser game. But I was saying that basically I'd be surprised if it was banned. It would have to be pretty fucking outrageous in regards to sex, not in regards to gore or mutilation or any of that, but in regards to sex, it would have to be pretty fucking wild or pretty extensive in the sexual capacity to be banned off Twitch. Cyberpunk. I have not played Cyberpunk, but I hear there's quite a significant amount of it, yeah. I didn't know if Twitch would let you get away with it, but Me personally, I'm not bothered. Oh yeah, I assumed you'd be fine with it, Tunackers. I assume you'd be fine with it. I'd be intrigued by it. I'd be intrigued to play it. More for the lore than anything else. But, you know, played the OG Witch Elves, I had no issues. Full-on smut cards. Yeah, absolutely. Boobies? Where are boobies? All over Twitch. Lots of boobies. Can I get some, perchance some consensual hugs? Job hunting is dreadful and I would send absolutely Jam Jar. Sending all of the consensual hugs, you beautiful individual. Absolutely. I'll give you a good squidge. Hold you tight. Feel my breath on your neck and everything. But yeah, I can imagine that is a laborious and painful task for you, friend. I do not envy you at all. Jim was the best counter Olaf so far. In my personal opinion, I agree. I agree too. Will gore and mutilation be pretty given considering it's Hellraiser? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I reckon it'll probably be fine. Which is the only thing holding the movie together. Very good. Neil Patrick Harris is a very good counter Olaf to my view. I thought he was alright. I just thought Jim Carrey was better, in my personal opinion. Grio, can I just say, Val, I like how you handled the tension of chat. In a space where views are allowed and encouraged, it's often difficult to when tension occurs, but as always, you show your extensive skills and knowledge. Good on you. Thank you very much, Grio. I fortunately, I say fortunately, it's kind of unfortunate, but fortunate in the long run. Unfortunate at the time, but fortunate in the long run, in the regards of, like, I've had experience with chat getting out of control. And I completely get why, because people feel passionate about things. And in a place where we do try and make it safe to have conversations, passionate conversations, where people can be strong and feel passionately about something and what have you, it can very quickly degrade. It can very quickly spiral out of control. So I've had I'd say a fair amount of experience navigating such things, and that was the reason. Fortunately, actually, the conversation hadn't actually gone that far by the time I'd clocked it. And I know full well that I don't think Frankie D will hold anything against Alexander Griffin, or Alexander Griffin hold anything against Frankie D. They understand that it's a conversation. They are allowed to have differing perspectives, even if they don't agree with them. It's not one of those, like, end of world perspectives where you fucking break off all communication with somebody. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to think so at the very least. And yeah, like as soon as I saw that the conversation was getting, the statements were getting lengthier, I was like, I'm just gonna check in, just pop in and be like, are you all right? Is everything okay? Everything all right? It turns out it was fun. It was all right. It was okay. I think there was, from what I read, there seemed to be a fair amount that may have been missed because of lack of tone of voice and lack of body language and stuff like that, which is the reason why I was just like, right, I'm going to come in, check how it is, make sure everything's okay, and then offer my opinion on the matter, and then move on, you know. But thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that. There's gore in Cyberpunk, yeah. But then most of the horror games, JM Beard, most of the horror games are pretty fucking gory. I mean, Jesus Christ. Look at what was a popular horror game? Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil Village was outrageously gory. No issues. Loads of people played it. All of the hugs for Jam Jar, yes. Thank you, Annie. The hunt's a cruel and cold mistress. Yes, most certainly. Most certainly, for sure. Thanks for all letting me derail the chat comments. Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome, Jam Jar. Absolutely. Happily to give you some love when you're in need of it, for sure. For sure. An excessively ridiculous smoochy one for Jam Jar Brain. Oh, Jam Jar Brain, come here, you. Come here. Just hug me. Hold me. There. It's okay, Jam Jam. It's all right. I got you. Ooh, your hair smells nice. I got you. It's okay. You sexual Tyrannosaurus. Where are your hands moving? That's my butt. That's my butt. Stop it. Breaches terms of service, goddammit. Stop it. You good? You good? You all right? Yeah? Good? There. Cheeky devil. I didn't do the smoochy one. Take that. Take that. I'm holding. I was about to come for you next. Oh my god. No, Alexandra Griffin is on the prowl. On the prowl, goddammit. Wait, what am I holding? And yes, my hair always smells nice. There you go. There you go. Is this over my ever-increasing reward for your delightful cat-impressive trolling behavior against you? Oh, there you go. There you go. You know what you did? That sounds about right. Also, Alexandra Griffin, you know what you did. Redeeming show dono with speech, goddammit. Do you know what? I'm going to refund that. I will do it, but I'll refund it. For a good reason. Don't you worry. Friends, this is my donation goal. It is to help me get rid of debt that has been hanging over my head for well over a decade now. And at the end of this goal, we'll be doing a Bob Ross stream where I'm going to be making myself into a Bob Ross canvas. And then the next donation goal will be about filling the fish tank. So, this is what this one is. There's obviously no pressure, no expectation, no nothing. But we've got to fill this one before we can look at fish stuff. All right. We've got to fill that one before we can look at fish stuff. I have refunded your channel points there, Alexandra Griffin, because it's getting late and I really need to go pee. So I think now that I've caught up with chat as well, it's a good place to bring it to a delightful close. Thank you. Feel a lot better knowing this community is here for you. Always, Jam. Always, you beautiful bean. Appreciate you so much. Do you have any idea of how many goals are left? Well, this is about a third of the way to paying everything off. But like I said, we're going to take a bit of a hiatus from the paying off my debt for the next one. We're going to have a bit of a break just so we can get the aquarium up and running and get that all sorted. So I might do it in like thirds. Be like, okay, we'll do a third of it, bit of a break, third of it, bit of a break, third of it. So it's not always just one thing. Do you know what I mean? Just to change it up a little bit. But I think this format, I really like the format of doing like the donation goal, and then at the end of the donation goal, I do some kind of reward. That feels good to me because it feels like I'm sort of like giving back for people's kindness. So I think that's just going to be a permanent thing on the channel from now on. Every single time we complete a donation goal, I will do some description of like reward stream as a way to say thank you. You know. I know I'm debating how much of a brat I want to be. You
is being far too kind. Confound them.
Eris! Friends, can we get some egos in chat? Say a massive thank you to Eris Ptolemy. Your finger slipped? Of course it did. Of course it did. You've been far too bloody kind to me recently, Eris Ptolemy. Can we get some egos in chat? Say a massive thanks to Eris Ptolemy. Thank you so much, Eris. That's so fucking kind of you, you beautiful being. God damn it. That's so fucking kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. 82%. Fuck me. You people. You people. How much of a brat you want to be, Alexander Griffin? I could imagine you being quite the brat. And I can also imagine the cheeky little grin you get when you know that punishment is coming. I can imagine that. I can see it in my mind's eye. Gasp, you know it. You know it. Fishy stuff. What are you going for? Any more Richards? No more Richards. Richard was my pet lobster, but just fishy. So at the moment, there is a bristlenose plek in there and about 11 shrimp. So I think I'm gonna go for schools of fish. So I'm gonna go for smaller fish, so they're not gonna eat the shrimp. And I'll go for lots of different types of schools, so that when the aquarium is running, there's always some interesting stuff to look at. That's my theory. That's my current theory at the moment, you know. Literally never felt more terrified and excited at the same time. Worrying / wonder, what have I done? It's the wonderful scaroused, where you're scared and aroused. And you're like, my God, I've got a fear boner. What is this? Oh my God. Anyway. Ulcer, Yorkshire tea kicking in. Ulcer. Yeah. Friends. Let's call it there. Let me find somebody to go and raid. But before I do that, you beautiful, beautiful human beings, could you do me a massive, 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 massive favor and throw some mod loves in the channel? Say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators, especially you beautiful moderators for bringing in the emo only mode when I needed it earlier. I really appreciate that. Not that it actually was really needed, to be honest with you. We were very, very lucky. We were very lucky that this community is so unbelievably wonderful. So bloody wonderful. Mods, thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for all you do in and out of stream. All the stuff you do for me behind the scenes and all the stuff you do for this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community. I really, really, really appreciate it. Let me have a quick look at who we can go throw some love at. Ooh, we haven't rated you in a while. Friends, if you could stick around for the raid, even if it's only like 5-10 minutes, I would really, 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 really appreciate it. Just to go throw some love at another delightful individual. Like I said, even if it's only like 5-10 minutes, it'd be nice to go throw some love at them and see how they are, see what's going on, see what's happening. You never know. You might get over to someone and you'd be like, oh my God, this person's the greatest.
Panda to it!
I see you shiver with anti-psy.
No, why would you do this to me? Not more of this. God damn it. Gosh darn it. We haven't seen them in ages, but they are on Be Right Back, so let's not do that. Do you know what, friends? Let's raid this delightful bean. Let's raid this delightful bean. Friends, it would mean the fucking world to me if we could all raid over to this delightful individual. Because they haven't streamed in a while. And they've had a lot of stuff going on in their life recently, so it'd be nice to go throw them some love together. Be nice to go throw them some love together. So yeah, if we could stick around for the raid, I would really, 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 genuinely, really appreciate that. Friends, let's go raid our darling moderator, Sembar Flay. Let's go raid our darling moderator, Sembar Flay. Sembar Flay is streaming some RimWorld, and like I said, they've had a lot going on in their lives recently, so it'd be nice to go throw them some love and be like, hey, we got you, friend. We got you. Friends, if you are a subscriber, please copy and paste the first raid message. If you're not a subscriber, please copy and paste the second raid message. That's the first Bottle Vein raid message from here, from Nibber in there. And the second Bottle Vein raid message, if you're not a subscriber, I'd really appreciate that. Friends, I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. GMT, that's 1 p.m. British time, where we will be doing a demo, like a cyberpunky demo. We'll be checking that out. And then if we've got time, we'll also do another game. We'll do another interesting bits and pieces thing and stuff. But it depends on how much you get me to talk, because I know what you people are like. Be chatting away at stuff and things as you like to do. Friends, thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for the raids, the subs, the gift subs, all the cheeky little bees. Thanks so much for the donation. Thanks so much for all the follows. And thanks so much for hanging out and being respectful in the conversation. I realize the conversation spiraled a little bit, but It was a good conversation. I had a really, really good chat tonight. So I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. GMT. Beautiful individuals. Thanks so much for all you lurkers. Thanks so much for people watching the VOD as well. And friends, until tomorrow, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Because if I wouldn't do it, it'll fucking kill you. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.